2, 1.
Let's go, Kraken!
Greetings, children of the internet. I am Andres Perez, aka KaijuNoir, and welcome to KaijuNoir's 5th annual Halloween live stream. And yes, it is here this time once again, where I get to go live in front of my audience, answer a bunch of questions all throughout the Halloween night down in good old US of A. While Halloween may be over in my neck of the woods, I still can't pass the opportunity to enjoy this lovely holiday with you guys. And I'm not the only one. For the first time on one of these live streams, I have my good old pal, Mr. Crookedlore, here with me to help me out with the festivities, given that he himself is an avid fan of this All Hallows Eve. Isn't that right, my good crooked sir?
Hello, I'm Crookedlore. You may remember me from such running gags as Is Japan Real? And Last Time on Audio Synchronicity.
Yes, you have always lurked in the comments section with your shenanigans, but now you get to be up front and center with your tomfoolery.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this honor.
And of course, hopefully, if as time goes by, we will have more guests here on the show. So for the 15 of you that are already watching, thank you very much for joining us. It looks like we've got like quite a commotion here on the chat box right here. So we appreciate your support all the way around. And yeah, so we finally have Crookedlore here. For those of you who don't know, Crookedlore was the man behind all the animation in my recent videos, especially the intro video that you have seen at the beginning of all of my videos since like 2016, I want to say, perhaps 2017. And yeah, this guy had helped me improve the quality of my videos so much, and we had a rather ambitious crossover that took place over the last couple scripted reviews, and including
Our crossover made Infinity Wars look like shit.
It was a crossover to end all crossovers. It was just as stupid with only a fraction of the budget, just as ludicrous. I guess you could say that the crossover itself was a bit too ambitious, though, given that it took an entire year to finish it. But it's all over now, it's all said and done, and now people can see the whole crossover in its entirety on the channel, which I uploaded earlier today. And Titan of Water just called you the ultimate edgelord.
How can I be edgy? I don't go doing what Berserk and Goblin Slayer does, making fantastic stories.
Oh,
yeah, that was more of a joke of myself, and now I'm sad. Now I am edgy.
All around me are familiar faces.
Oh, I guess I need to open up the chat so I'll be able to see them.
Oh, you don't have the chat on. Okay, so now you can see the chat. Let's see. Jose Aguilar says, Crooked, are you going to take away Mr. Noir's animation again?
No. I'm done with that now. I'm thinking of better ways to torture my friend here.
Oh, no. Let's see. I remember there was this one comment in the Godzilla 98 review where one man was like, "Unhand that poor critic, you fiend!"
Did you tell them no, or did I have to tell them?
Well, obviously that's your job, Mr. Crooked.
Well, then no. I didn't. I wasn't going to do
it. And Jordan says, "Oh God, please, no, Goblin Slayer. Watch out, they're going to take away your waifus in the first episode."
Well, that's what they get for making people think it was going to be a generic, upbeat fantasy story.
Yeah. You know what? Has the whole Goblin Slayer fiasco already come and gone, or are people still complaining about it?
It's pretty much come and gone. I have not heard a lot of complaining about it. The real problem where this came from was Crunchyroll.
Oh yeah, because it was like they rated it as like PG or something.
Yeah.
Right. Talk about a boneheaded move, am I right?
Yeah, it's pretty much they looked at the poster, which looks fairly innocent, but not watched the show.
Uh-huh. Right, right. Let's see. But now at this point, the show is already like 4 or 5 episodes in at this point.
Yeah. And it's definitely calmed down a bit. It still has a lot of dark moments, but wasn't as brutal as the first episode.
Right.
Which very much how the books went.
Okay, yeah. I heard the books were like slightly more violent, although I can't imagine them possibly even coming close to like Berserk's level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not Berserk level, no. But they're still pretty violent, especially for modern anime comparisons.
Very true, very true. Now, I'm going to share this live stream all throughout the internets. By internets, I mean mostly Facebook. So if you would like to introduce yourself to our special audience here, would you kindly do the honors?
I shall.
Okay, excellent. So who are you, man of the crookedness?
I am a quote-unquote animator who does very lazy-looking animations, and I pretty much make fun of different anime. I'm also having a book coming out soon with our friend Denny Roth as the illustrator and some no name as the editor.
Right, I hear he's not that very special person. You probably never heard of him. He's pretty underground.
It's very sad. He makes he's well known for doing YouTube movie reviews. It's sad. I felt bad.
Yeah, it's like I feel like that guy could definitely improve. I mean, it takes him forever to do the whole thing. I mean, it takes him forever to do like those scripted reviews that everyone wants to see.
Yeah. Instead of copying Nostalgia Critic.
Right. And screaming like a man-child all the time.
And also the only upside to him is he's working on this really good comic. That's all I give him credit for. Yeah,
that's probably the only accomplishment he has going for in life.
Sad thing is, I know you're gonna do something similar, remarking me when you describe someone something you worked on.
Probably.
So who did your animation?
He's just some guy, some like, I don't know, Jack Skellington looking motherfucker who's done a book about a monkey girl and something else with a cat girl. I don't know, something with him and girls that he likes to work with. I don't understand it.
Are you saying there's a problem with me using female characters? That's automatically sexist. That's how the modern world works.
Oh my god, you're totally right. I'm a monster.
Great, I have to quit everything I'm doing and just go to hiding like the bigot I am.
I must exile myself. I must go. My planet needs me.
Yeah, I just realized I still haven't opened up the chat.
Oh shit! We got ourselves our first super chat from Brumakian Productions, who has donated $100. Holy shit. Let's see. So he says, here's my request to you. Since you did the retrospective reviews of the Heisei Godzilla films, why not do the same for Gamera, the first 3 films of the 60s, and the Heisei trilogy? Interesting that he recommends asking the first 3 movies, which is Gamera the Invincible, Gamera versus Barugon, and Gamera versus... Was Gauss the 3rd one?
I thought Gauss was the 4th for some reason.
I think Virus is the 4th. Yeah.
Maybe it's the 3rd.
Now, I've had... thank you very much for the donation, Brumakian Productions. I have gotten a lot of requests to do the Heisei Gamera series after I finish the Godzilla series. However, it's not in the cards at the moment. The next target that I really want to talk about is Getter Robo. That's especially... I've been wanting to talk about Getter Robo ever since I got into the franchise around 2013, 2014. And so, now that I finally got rid of... I'm almost finished with all of the 90s Godzilla movies. I still technically have one more to do. I do want to tackle the Getter Robo franchise afterwards. But with enough support, enough I guess, like, requests for Gamera, I may do Gamera after Getter Robo, because I initially had another sort of franchise retrospective after Getter Robo, but I may hold that off and just do Gamera itself, what with, people like you strongly requesting it. So yeah, I guess I do want to tackle more anime in general, but anime that I personally enjoy, not so much like the more mainstream stuff. But yeah, I know my subscriber user base is mostly interested in tokusatsu kaiju stuff, so it's like, perhaps it is the best idea to go ahead with the Gamera trilogy eventually, just to keep, that sort part of my fan base satisfied, before I go into, like, the next, like, sort of anime retrospective, that being Devilman.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
And, yeah, what's funny enough, I never actually thought that Devilman would get the resurgence that it had, like, in the last recent years. I mean, not only do we have the Devilman versus Cyborg 009 crossover, but we also ended up with the really popular Devilman Crybaby. Was it this year or last year?
I think it was last year.
Right. So I still feel like even then, like, Devilman Crybaby was so popular that I think it's still talked about even to this day. So yeah, it's given me much more to work with, and for when I eventually cover that retrospective. Let's see here. What do we have going on in the comments here?
I did see Jordan here asking, can we talk about Castlevania and stop talking about Goblin Slayer? Now, personally, I'm only 3 episodes into a new season, haven't been able to watch the rest of it. But you know what's really great? That's great as Castlevania? Goblin Slayer.
This may sound controversial, but I think Castlevania is better than Goblin Slayer.
How dare you?
It's like, I know there's not as much fan service as there is in Goblin Slayer. There's not as much controversy, but I think as some all joking aside, as someone who has finished watching season 2 of Castlevania, I will say that it was a damn good season of animation, my friend, and it was quite fantastic. I will agree with what the people from the the Pan's Pizza Party podcast mentioned, where they said that there's a lot more focus on Dracula and the rest of antagonists more so than Team Belmont. But
I've already started noticing that after the first 3 episodes.
Oh yeah, so they keep switching back and forth between Team Dracula and Team Belmont, and while I would have liked to have seen more of Team Belmont, I guess it's like, well, it's like what they do with them is still quite very good character building and a lot of good writing on their part. So that's probably my only pet peeve, is that I wish we could have seen more of the protagonists in the events leading up to their eventual clash with Team Dracula.
What I think is really funny I'm gonna go back to Goblin Slayer and mention Castlevania at the same time. Is people were upset about the first episode of Goblin Slayer, saying it was one of the darkest things they've seen. I keep on thinking I've seen much darker things from American productions, which is Castlevania.
Very true. They did have a very dark first episode. I especially remember when the Dracula unleashed like literal hell upon the city of or like the country of Wallachia.
Yeah.
Let's see. We had Lydia from the Sunday night live stream that I'm a part of asking, so which one of you is Jason gonna kill? That's a very good question. Well, given that my friend here may or may not be of Caucasian descent, I would say that I am probably more screwed than he is.
That's pretty racist.
I'm not the racist one. That's probably Jason or Hollywood, depending on whoever makes the decision to kill off the minorities first.
Andres, I'm a more tempting target.
Why? Because you're the funny one?
No. It's because I'm just so killable.
Really?
Yeah, just someone looks at me going, I want to kill that man.
I'd like to stick a knife in that man's back. Or it's like, I'd like to shove his face in a blender. He has a very blendable face. Let's see. We have Graphenic Rex asking, hey Andres, are you going to talk about the anime of Getter Robo, or are you going to talk about both the anime and the manga as well? I would like to talk about the manga, essentially all the manga that the original Getter Robo creator wrote and drew. None of the, not so much the side projects that other artists and writers have done with the character. And then after talking about like the main storyline of the manga, I would then go on to talk about the 3 OVAs that were adapted from bits and pieces of the main manga series. Not so much the old TV show animes, because there's really not a whole lot you can talk about, given how those older animes were essentially just, basic Monster of the Week shows. There's not a whole lot of meat you can sink your teeth into there. Unlike the OVAs, where there's like a lot more stuff to go into detail about. Let's see.
Titan of Water here says, this chat got dark. Andres, you shouldn't have talked about Robo Ghetto there. I can't pronounce it.
Getter Robo.
Whatever slang you use.
Get her Bobo.
But yeah, you shouldn't have talked about it. Titan of Water thinks it got dark because of that.
Let's see. Jason Ragaz says, can you review Devilman Lady? That would be a very interesting anime to include in my Devilman retrospective. I never thought once about including Devilman Lady, but that would be a rather interesting one. I probably would include that in a Devilman retrospective. I guess like later down the line, I know for sure I'll definitely cover Getter Robo first, but after Getter Robo, I would be interested to hear if you guys would rather listen to me talk about Devilman first or Heisei Gamera. Primal Graffiti. Yeah.
I say one thing I know about the Devilman Lady is the same thing happened with the manga, as the manga and the anime had two different stories altogether.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah, is
wasn't
that
aware of that. I know I read a synopsis of the Devilman Lady manga, and I hear that it kind of goes into very weird directions, where at first it kind of sets itself up as like an alternate universe version of Devilman, but it turns out to be a continuation of Devilman, kind of, sort of, which conflicts with Violence Jack, which is also a continuation. I don't know anymore. Let's see. Primal Graffiti Source Rex says, but Andres, I like Monster of the Week shows. And yeah, I'm not saying they're bad. I love Monster of the Week shows, but I'm just saying, like, early, like, 70s, 80s Monster of the Week shows, there's not a lot to talk about there. So I'll briefly mention them when I talk about the mangas, but I'm not going to do full-on reviews for the anime adaptations of Get a Robo, Get a Robo G, and Get a Robo Go. Although I do know that Get a Robo Go came first, then the manga.
I really like Monster of the Week stories, but I also like when they have a story fit into there.
Right, where there's like a secondary like B plot or C plot, where it's like you have A plot, which is the Monster of the Week stuff. You have a B plot, which is like the interpersonal character struggles, character relationship that gets solved by the end of that episode. And then you have a C plot, which is like an overarching story that carries on from episode to episode.
One series that I think is just doing, I just think there was a great job on this, is the new Gridman anime.
Yes, Gridman. I love that show. That's how you do like a Monster of the Week show with very interesting characters and an ongoing story arc. Let's see. Symbiotic Titan will always be like another gold standard for me as well. That was the one made by Gendy Tartakovsky, the guy who made Dexter's Laboratory and Samurai Jack and Hotel Transylvania. Right. Let's see. Spooky Bones says, when will you review Shrek 2? I'm dying to see a review of it. Maybe. It depends on how badly people want Shrek 2.
Oh, that's the movie I had to break you. That's the second movie I had. Right after Godzilla in 1998, I just pull out Shrek 2. All right, this will get him.
And then in the background, I can hear like a deep-pitched version. Somebody once told me, no, the world is gonna roll me. It's like, no, please, Augustine, no.
Great, that's gonna give me nightmares now.
I eat the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm actually gonna throw out my voice if I continue doing that. Let's see. Manda says, sorry, Crookedlore, I thought you said Ghetto Robo.
I thought that's what it was.
Manda says, I'd be down with some reviews of Devilman. Enshohma says, Devilman, go Nagai's never-ending rerun of Getting Paid. Jose Aguilar says, can we expect you to review Neon Genesis Evangelion in a retrospective? I've actually thought about doing Evangelion as like a one-off review. And yeah, I've always had interest in doing that eventually. I'm not sure when, though. Let's see. Hey, Andres, is there any other retrospective you want to do other than Get a Robo, Gamera, and Devilman? Yes! Always. I've had an interest in covering Japanese live-action adaptations of certain popular anime franchises because people like to blame Hollywood for never getting anime adaptations right, be it Dragon Ball Evolution or the recent Ghost in the Shell. But keep in mind that Japan is just as capable of fucking up their own adaptations as much as Hollywood. So I've always been interested in taking a look at Japan's attempts at adapting anime, such as Gatchaman, Devilman, Hurricane Polymar, let's see, Kikaider Reboot. It's technically not an anime, but, you know, it's an adaptation. Captain Harlock, Tetsujin 28. Yeah, so that's sort of another thing I want to talk about. Let's see. Jordan says, one problem I have with SSSS Gridman is the main girl antagonist. Personally, I don't have a problem with her. Does SSSS... Oh, go ahead.
That's it. Personally, she scares me because people look at Moe girls thinking she's so cute and innocent. This shows their true face.
Could she really be Belle in disguise?
Maybe, yes, actually. Yeah. I'm not gonna deny it. Yes, it's Belle.
Does SSS...
Belle learned to speak perfect English, and now refer to herself in the third person, and made monsters.
Oh my god.
Plot twist.
Does that make Augustine the weird computer Kilocon guy? Alexis?
No, Augustine's not good with computers.
Let's see. Does SSSS stand for Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad? Yes, probably.
Yes.
Let's see.
That's why I watch it.
That's my headcanon. Let's see. Yes, Primal, it's a great show so far, but the antagonist is really annoying. Yeah, she is annoying in some way, but I think it kind of suits her character for me personally. Andres says, Primal says, Anders? Who's Anders? Who is this Anders you speak of? What about the rebuild movies? Can you review them for the final Evangelion film in 2020? I could do that. Yeah, I can definitely put that on my list to do. I probably won't do them right after reviewing the anime. I'd rather just look at the anime by itself and answer the question, why was it ever so popular to begin with? Which I already have a few theories as to why that I could perhaps go into detail in my review when I eventually cover it.
Am I involved in its popularity in some way?
Maybe.
Good.
Let's see. Spooky Bone says, what are your thoughts on Shrek 5 being announced 2 years ago? I just found out about it. When I heard about a Shrek 5 being announced a couple years back, I wasn't really so surprised to hear about it. Given that, Hollywood is always wanting to make, nothing but sequels and reboots and remakes. And the fact that, hey, if the Ice Age series has gone on this long, fuck it, why not Shrek? So, but then again, I'm not so surprised that they decide to abandon Shrek 5, because it's like, I feel like the pop cultural zeitgeist for Shrek has already come and gone. There's no the only sort of nostalgia we have for Shrek is now only out of pure irony. I mean, nobody can take Shrek seriously anymore, because, the internet has bastardized him beyond belief, to where it's like he is a living punchline. He is a legendary, he's reached legendary god-tier meme status now. I just don't think it's the right environment. Pop culture isn't what it was like 18 years ago or 17 years ago when he came out.
It personally breaks my heart, because now Michael Myers has nothing else to do. He can't keep on killing teenagers all of his life.
He can always come back for like a Wayne's World 3 or a Austin Powers 4. Let's see. Here's a question for you. If H.P. Lovecraft made a Godzilla story...
That'd be trippy.
That'd be terrifying, but yeah.
In a way, isn't Godzilla kind of a H.P. Lovecraft monster?
No, because he's still killable. Whereas with like something like Cthulhu, there is zero chance of ever even comprehending the monster, let alone fight it. Let's see. Manda says, they still plan on making another Shrek movie? Probably not. Let's see. Michael Jackson Helm says, what were your guys' reaction to the announcement of Godzilla Aftershock? Not really surprised. I just hope it's better than Godzilla Awakening.
I only found out about it yesterday, and I have no real opinion on it yet, because we don't have a lot to work with.
Yeah. Jose Aguilar says, who would win in a fight? Ready Player One Mechagodzilla or Anime Mechagodzilla? Yes!
Bell.
Those are our individual answers for every versus question for this chat.
And both are correct.
Always. Jordan says, so much for Shrek, the final chapter. Let's see. Kevin says, the title of the 5th Shrek film is Good Day to Shrek 5. Primal says, answer for Andres. I finished both Super Robot Wars games and I prefer V than X. The only reason I got X is that Gurren Lagann and Code Geass are in it. That says something about the game. I thought so. Let's see. What Godzilla Aftershock? Godzilla Aftershock Primal is the next sort of tie-in comic that Legendary is going to produce that takes place between Godzilla 2014 and Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019. So it looks like one of our guests is ready. So I'm going to see if I can add them to the chat. Afterwards, I'll go answer some more questions that were left in the last live stream, even though I told them not to do such a thing. But I'll still do it because I am a kind god in this chat, in this live stream.
Oh shit, I think I left a couple of questions in the last one.
Let's see. Where's the add button? How do you add people in this call? Ah, okay, that's how you do it now. Alright. And add. Let's see if the individual is ready. Sorry for the dead air, ladies and gentlemen. Hello there, good sir. Are you here in this chat with us right now?
Yes, I am. Although you were expecting the Enshohma, weren't you, you poor suckers?
Who is this? Who is this individual who is not the person I was attempting to call?
We'll say goodbye to Fat Raph for Jack Hodgson, King of the Mad Scientists, the last of the Red Hot Swamis, and the most sexiest man in a lab coat you'll ever meet, has pushed him out of the door and locked it. He's out there crying with all the stray cats he's collected, for I will be your guest tonight. Because you can't say... Yes! Because who needs vampires, werewolves, reverends, and leprechauns when it's the mad scientists that make Halloween special?
Dear God, what sort of horrors have I unleashed upon the live stream?
You simply left the door open. I dragged my storage boxes in and says, I'm going to spend the weekend here. You don't mind, do you? Too bad.
What will you do now, Jack Hodgson, you devilish fiend?
I never really thought it this far. I'd figure you just hang up on me the minute I'd say my name. Evil.
Can I ask you to leave?
You can, but I won't.
What if I were to point this gun at you?
Ha! My mom used to shoot me with bullets all the time. My bones are 40% bulletproof metal. My skin, on the other hand, don't shoot, please. Oh, God, please. I don't want to hurt today.
Okay, so what if I do want to hurt your skin?
Run away!
Run away! Run away! All right, I think we've gotten rid of Jack Hodgson now.
I'm coming. Hold on. I got through the doorway. All right, I'm here.
Okay. Did you happen to see a weird guy in a white trench coat?
Yeah, it's a lab coat, actually. He's very anal about getting that right.
Whatever.
So he's my worst character ever. So, hey everybody, it's the one and only Enshohma. So, I've been up for ungodly amounts of hours just finishing our title card for today.
Yes, which is this wonderful, beautiful homage to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that we have here on display. And all of this was done thanks to Raph for doing this, especially at the last minute.
Yeah, my fault completely.
What, Andres?
Yeah.
Did you force him to do this at the last minute?
No, I forced him to do it within like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, this has been a very hectic October, and by the way, it's nice to speak with you face to face, Augustine. So.
Yeah. Now you said it's been a rough October. Do you mean a crooked October?
Sure, okay.
It's a wordplay. Zing!
I know I said the word. He's coming
it's a pun! I like puns. Puns are fun, but they can be such punishing punishment.
He had summoned me. I'm in full control now.
Right. And oh my
return to critic.
Oh no!
Wait a minute. You can have this supervillain on, but not me, the Jack Hawkson? Shut up, Raph. You stay in the corner there. Bad boy. Bad!
It's all right.
I'm a chaotic neutral. Villainy is such a bore.
I'm a genius. Villainy is me, baby.
Fuck, what have I
Do I
gotten
have to stay in the
myself
same
into?
room with this thing?
Ah.
Do I
Well,
have to be in
since
the
you're...
same room as this creature?
I am not a creature. I'm a Hawkson. I'll crawl ya. Wait,
Fuck
that doesn't
role
didn't come
play.
out. Yeah. That's what I... Nothing. I got nothing clever to say. Just keep going. But by the way, is how old is that cat girl of yours?
Really? All right, I'll introduce you. You won't survive, but...
That's okay. Jack Hawkson kind of has a thing for the cat girls. Don't tell my fellow supervillains. I tell them I'm celibate, but you know, in reality, I want. Oh wait, I can't say that word. Never mind.
Do you enjoy dressing up as mailman and having your face eaten? She really enjoys that.
Never mind. I'll stick with the older cat girls in Tokyo.
Don't even get me started on those cat girls. Ugh.
Right. Yeah. Half of them are just nine-tailed foxes pretending to be cat girls because they're trying to find a mooching husband to mooch off of. Those mooching moochers, I call them mooses.
Plus, they bite.
Yes, that too. So, like mooses.
I can only imagine what our audiences must be thinking at this moment.
They must be amazed
Clearly,
that two...
they think we lost our minds.
Yes, that or two sexy fellows have entered this podcast with little Andres boy here.
And here with me, and here I am. I'm just, you know that image of like Shinji with his hands over his head, like sitting in that chair in that dark void. That's how I feel right now.
Right. While me and the Crookedlore do a little Irish jig around you.
This
Okay.
This is what I get.
No one likes Irish jigs.
This is what I get when I bring in a guy who does nothing but draw boobs with another guy who does nothing but write about boobs.
I said I'm celibate.
It's art.
Yeah. Besides, blame the Raffster for the boobage. Is that right, Raffy boy? Stay there, bad Raff.
You can blame me. You can blame me for the boobs all you want, but in the end, I do it for one reason and one reason only: because I'm crooked.
Perhaps in the end, we're all a couple of boobs.
Oh, I get it. It's a pun.
Don't you
Hey,
laugh at that.
Sorry.
Perhaps there's a boob inside each and every one of us.
It's almost as if
Godzilla
it's almost
2000
as if
reference.
life. Yeah, it's almost as if life is just one gigantic booby trap.
Oh,
What? It's true.
well, that's why.
I think we're gonna be that kind of live stream.
Indeed. We'll have a boob off.
I don't have boobs with me. All I have is Belle, which she has none.
I know.
Don't tell her I said that.
That's okay. Who do you think would win in a battle, Boo or Belle?
Yes.
I would have to say Belle. Because Belle kind of cheats.
Right, but Boo has telepathic abilities and a country sass on her alien face.
But Belle has no mind to control or anything in a matter.
Huh. So she's one of the... I can't think of anything clever. Jack Hawkson is at an
If you can't think of
impasse.
anything clever, why don't you just go the fuck away and bring Raph back?
Okay, one moment. So, yeah, now, Crookedlore, you should do the same with whatever, who created you, or was it the other way around?
My hat here. That's how he gains control again.
Ah, like Bumbo Jumbo from the Teen Titans. The good one.
Guys, where the hell was I? Where'd this top hat come from?
Well, whatever it is, throw it away. We don't need it at the moment.
Yeah, when I was in the corner, I heard you guys talking about boobs. What's going on?
Nothing. The only boobs that we had in this live stream were you guys.
No, yeah. Hey.
So in other words, we were talking about you.
Hey, I'm not a boob. I'm bootylicious.
That
Shut
that
up,
thing
Raph.
is my
Right,
that thing
right,
is my Augustine voice has become sort of obsolete thanks to my new Halloween special.
right.
Hmm.
Aren't you so lucky, Andres, to have an interdimensional super being and a guaranteed mad scientist who hasn't been killed by one of his creations on your show, as opposed to boring old vampires, zombies, and the not good Teen Titans?
I really don't know at this point.
Okay, you say so.
We did this whole thing for you, Andres.
Yeah, it's the Halloween spirit. You gotta have some villainy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's see. So
Or-
we had Jordan ask, Andres, did the artist also worked on Brandon Tenold's title cards? I'll have you answer, Raph.
No, that's another Raph Enshohma who looks exactly like me, but he lives 2 blocks down in 153rd place, where I live in 103rd Street. So there's a big difference between. Of course, I'm one of the title card artists for Brendan Tenold. So the
Oh, thank
original,
God.
you might say.
I thought it was me. I thought it was me, which makes
Okay.
no sense because I can't draw.
Right.
And you're
That's
the animator.
Yeah.
I know,
That's
it's weird, isn't it? I can only
Yeah.
draw the front of heads.
That's okay. I can't draw feet.
Let's see.
Oh.
Enshohma, Primal says, "Hey Enshohma, welcome to my pumpkin patch. Perhaps you would play some catch." I'm not sure if that's a pumpkin rapper reference.
Of course,
or
it's
not.
a pumpkin rapper. That character's too popular.
He's too popular for his own good. We have to
Yeah.
kill him.
Yeah.
Especially
No,
since he OD'd behind that Hardee's.
oh. Oh, poor pumpkin rapper. 4 days away from retirement.
What was really sad was Belle was the one that found his body. It was really hard to explain.
And then she took it to the local village, and there was pumpkin seed for everybody.
Yeah.
And Primal also asks, Enshohma, do you mean the Teen Titans Go or the live-action version?
Oh, crap, you're right. We got multiple bad Teen Titans. Never mind, it's a crapshoot franchise.
Fuck Batman.
Yeah.
Ugh, I'm so
Right,
fucking edgy. I hurt myself just by even
We
touching
also-
my skin.
We also have the DC anime movies.
May I ask you a question? Do you bleed?
Sometimes.
Okay. My impression of live action Batman.
Where'd you hear that name? Where'd you say that name?
Martha.
That's the name. That's the name of his mother. No way. That is so ironic. Let's be friends.
No way. A question. Amanda says, question for Enshohma. Out of the many title cards you made for Brandon Tenold, which one is your favorite?
Oh. Oh crap! Don't make me choose between my children. I think. Okay, if I was just to pick one right out of the ether, the one that I'm perhaps most proud of is one of my earliest, the one I did for Legend of Dinosaurs. Just because I love the kind of cartoon physics going on in the picture. There's like, instead of Mount Fuji erupting, it's a massive pile of yen on fire while the puppet plesiosaur is crushing Brendan in a natural way. I'm also very proud of the Ray Harryhausen one. That still came off a lot better than some of my other title cards. And recently, I don't know. It's like I love the fact that I'm in charge of all Donald. What's his face? Oh darn it! I'm already ruined this podcast, but not remembering that actor. Oh, Jack Palance. I'm in charge of all Jack Palance related movies, and he has such an interesting, drawable face. So that's a lot of fun. So. Yeah, it's like, I'm Jack Palance, and you're a pussy joker.
So wait, he has a drawable face. I have a blendable face. Wait, man, we just get along together in this scenario.
Yes, and I got a big old bushy beard.
We have Professor Henry McCoy donating $2, saying, "No, but you will bleed."
Mr. McCoy, you're not a donator, you're a doctor. Star Trek. I'm so sorry. This podcast has already gone downhill.
Go to your
It's
room.
alright.
I
One
know.
person asked, Titan of Water said, "Hey, question. Have you noticed that each monster in King of the Monsters has an elemental theme to them? Godzilla water, Mothra light, Rodan fire, Ghidorah electricity." I didn't really notice it, but I can see it.
Yeah.
I got nothing to add.
That's all I had. That's all I really had to say. Just I can see that.
Yeah, well, I know Rodan is supposed to be more, despite being a big old flying pterodactyl, he's supposed to be kind of a magma fire-based creature. King Ghidorah probably lightning. Mothra fluffy doilies, and Godzilla the ocean, of course.
Right.
Right. I'm lying.
As opposed to the anime version where Godzilla is earth, Mechagodzilla is metal, and Ghidorahs are danger noodles.
Oh no, it is the danger noodle. It is glowing with ramen goodness.
I'm gonna step guys right here. Danger Noodles, best name for our band.
Oh, nice. I'm good at the tambourine. That's all I can do.
Let's see. So let's take a look. Oh, okay. Looks like another one of our guests is ready.
Uh-oh.
Is it me?
Is it me?
That you're looking for? Can you see it in your eyes?
Right. I thought we were all going to go into, like, the Muppets Take Manhattan spiel or the Great Muppet Caper. It's like, is it me? It's me. It's me. Oh, God. I've already ruined this podcast with my obscure references.
Oh, my
God. Lord, save us.
The best Muppet movie is Muppet Treasure Island and Christmas Carol.
Right. I've never seen those, to be honest.
Really?
You never seen?
Yeah.
Huh.
So
that's strange. You're strange.
I'm also strange.
Yes, we're all strange.
No.
No
You're crooked. He's strange.
Right.
I'm crookedly strange.
And
True.
I'm the Crimson Weirdo.
He's crimsonly strange.
Mm.
And
I'm the rest.
Uh-oh.
And who is this fine, dapper gentleman fellow?
Yes, it is the fine, dapper gentleman fellow here to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Wait, am I too early?
I think you're probably a month early or a month behind. I'm not really sure anymore.
I had this all planned out.
Time is all meaningless either way.
So you're telling me I cooked a turkey for nothing? Then that's what we're getting at. I made food. I got the potatoes ready. Got all that stuff together for nothing.
And did you at least stuff the turkey with candy? Because you could still salvage that meal.
Pumpkin spice. Use pumpkin
5
spice.
minutes. I'll do that right now.
Get a bunch of chocolate bars, melt them all in there.
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, OBS connection successful. I'm just gonna send a message to the chat saying, "Can you still hear us? Can everybody still hear us?" Let's see. Gonna wait for a response.
Oh, you.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, that's good. So yes, now we have good old Brayton Connor, the editor behind many of my favorite videos on the channel, here with us today. So now we have an artist, the animator, the editor, and me all here on the live stream.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. Very important question.
Yes.
Brayton, who let you out of the closet?
You know what? That is a question. There are no easy answers, Crooked. That is a question that will make a lot more sense sometime in the future if you don't think about it.
Especially in the expanded universe. You gotta
You gotta read the novel, the offshoot comic book, to get the answer to who let Brayton.
Series.
Right.
Who let the Brayton out? Who? That is the question on everyone's mind.
It wasn't Tom Cruise, was it? I locked him in there too.
No, never. But I would just like to point out, Andres, you are at our mercy here. If a freak car accident happened between Raph, Crooked, and I, the KaijuNoir channel would collapse.
Most definitely, I would say so.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're all in the same car, recording this as we speak.
Right, exactly.
Except me, I had to sit in the trunk. They wouldn't let me sit in the front seats like a big boy.
Right. And
That's okay.
Stop touching me, Enshohma. Personal space. God.
You're touching me with your
Leaning
thighs.
You're leaning on my side of the armrest. This is not okay.
I need my room. I'm a big gentleman. A big gentleman needs big space to sit.
I don't like Enshohma and Brayton fighting.
You shut up back there, or you're not getting any snacks.
Oh, come on.
Right. Okay, here's some gummy
just
bears.
Remember, Crooked, it is all your fault.
It is. So, see, how do you like it being locked inside of a tiny little confined space at the mercy of your captors, Crooked? It's not fun.
It's fairly pleasant.
Yeah.
I just got gummy bears, actually. It's amazing.
Raph, don't give the captive gummy bears. What's wrong with you? We discussed this.
Gummy bears
Didn't
are so
Philip give you
delicious.
candy corn?
I'm eating gummy bears.
This is the worst Thanksgiving ever. You guys are making this off.
But I
You know
see
what's-
Christmas decorations outside. I thought it was Christmas.
No,
I
that's,
see-
that's Walmart jumping the gun as usual.
I see Labor Day regret.
I don't even know what that's supposed to look like.
That's okay. It's hard to explain. So
All I know is that I saw Enshohma kissing Santa Claus underneath it.
he said he'd hook me up with a free Sega Genesis. I've yet to get paid.
You know that you can just buy one yourself, right? They're like, what, $5 a piece now?
I want to get free stuff through semi-sexual favors, damn it.
Enshohma kissed Santa. I mugged him. You know, we all did something to get something for Santa.
Yeah.
That's
Like, no,
the way the Crooked crumbles.
I can imagine like all three of our supervillain characters and Andres' giant robot join forces like the latchkey kids from the Mexican Santa Claus movie,
Oh
trying
my
to capture
God.
Santa Claus on the roof with the help of our devilish friend Pip
Yeah.
or
Pitch,
Pitch,
Enshohma.
thank you.
Pitch.
Thank you.
And next,
Damn
first not Spider-Man, first Santa Claus, and then Merlin the Magician.
Don't forget Big Hairy Thor in charge of the mechanical reindeer.
All right.
See, I think I would make a fairly okay pitch. I think I could pull the look off. Enshohma, you would be an amazing Mexican Santa Claus.
Right.
What is Andres would be an obvious. Andres would be an obvious shoo-in for his little assistant that he has in the movie. You know,
Right,
the
right.
little.
Tom Thumb. So it's like,
Yeah.
Merlin, help me! Help me, Merlin!
That's my favorite Christmas movie scene of all time, is poor Santa Claus trapped in a tree by a vicious killer dog that the devil just let loose, screaming for help into outer space, asking for Merlin's help. That's the Christmas spirit.
Yes. That's a true Christian spirit right there.
Right. Destroyed,
that's-
broken, and disabused.
Can't get any more Mexican and Catholic than that.
Yeah.
And that's what my people will be remembered for from here on out. We had a super chat early on from Professor Henry McCoy for $5 saying, if you could have any of the monsters from Ray Harryhausen join the Monsterverse, what would it be?
Ooh.
I'd say the Kraken because it's probably the most original.
I'm gonna have to pick the Ymir just because he has a lot of a personality to him.
I'd also have to say the Kraken, or just for the fun of it, the Skeleton Soldiers. He made those, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I won't lie. I just want to see that in the Godzilla movie. Bunch of
Right.
giant skeletons fighting against Godzilla.
Ironic factoid: did you know the terror beneath the it came from beneath the sea is technically a traditional Kraken as opposed to the fully made up but reused name Kraken from Clash of the Titans? It's a fact, you know. I watched a movie.
Get out here, nerds.
Shut up, Raph.
Don't make me bring back Jack.
God damn it.
God.
And if he comes back, Augustine comes back. Those are the rules.
No, don't.
Right. Along with Conno Branzit, the famous alien Duke.
See, that's the thing, though. Connor Branson is basically just me. I don't have a weird, out there, evil persona I can pander to the audience with. I can't.
You
I don't
are
have
a weird,
this.
out there, evil persona.
That's right.
Right.
Look, guys, it's not fair to Andres. He doesn't have an evil persona.
Oh, he does. He is Professor Peanut. No, wait, that name's been taken.
He's slightly miffed man.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Baron slightly miffed. Oh,
He only
Baron
and-
miffed slightly.
He only comes out in such an area such as the Godzilla anime.
Mm.
Let's see.
Those movies.
Question: if you could create your own new monster for a Godzilla movie, what would it be? I would create none because I would use them for my own monster movie.
Aha! Let's see.
Half
Same here.
dolphin, half platypus. That's all.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Genius.
I wouldn't create a new monster, but I'd gladly pick like one of the obscure, less unmade Godzilla kaiju, like the giant android bride of Godzilla, just to fuck with people. So
Ah.
Let's see.
Godzilla has a thing for robot women.
Oh my god! I would certainly choose Enshohma's Cyclops character to fight Godzilla. I think that would be a great match, right,
come
Raph?
on.
Oh, actually, even better. A giant-sized bell.
Yes.
Ooh.
Ooh, how horrifying!
Jack Hodgson would like that.
Let's see. Here's a Titan Water says, here's a question. How much gore do you think King of the Monsters can get away with a PG-13 rating? Probably a decapitation is probably the only one. Maybe a stabbing.
Mm.
Yeah, I was just saying. I don't think Godzilla's really well known for its gore.
Right. Like Ghidorah got his head blown off. Godzilla got stabbed through the hand.
I don't know. I thought we were talking about people dying.
Ah, okay.
Say it doesn't
People
kill
gore.
monsters.
No, I don't see anything. Maybe like a person would. I would say it's like kind of like a Man of Steel type of death, where it's like they just like close their eyes as their bodies get enveloped in an explosion or something like that.
Oh, with that infamous yell from the '54 movie.
From where?
You know, the original Godzilla movie, like a police car gets blown up and the one unfortunate guy who stays inside, his death screen is like, "Aye!" or something like that.
Ah, okay.
Okay, why am I the only one that knows about that horrible, weird scream?
Because shut up, Ralph.
Okay.
Let's see. Luke, the Lucky TD says, question, have you seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable? Yes, I have seen that, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm in the middle of it.
Excellent. What do you think of it so far?
I'm really having fun with it. Actually, I'm actually like in Josuke a lot more than some of the previous Joestars, except Joseph, who's still my favorite.
Ah, okay. Let's see. I still haven't seen Golden Wind yet, which is Part 5, but I really need to.
Yeah. I meant Jonathan. Sorry, got confused there.
Okay. The original JoJo.
Oh no! Second one. There's so many JoJos. There's only two. There's only two ones with American names though, with English names.
True.
Yeah, we'll get back with your JoJo talk.
Let's see.
Get it? It's a Beatles reference.
I was gonna say I understood that reference because I'm old too, Raph. So.
Yay! Senior citizens forever.
I don't know JoJo.
High five! Oh, my back.
Oh God, my hands.
I don't know any Beatle JoJos, but I do know about Lucy and that she's often in the sky with diamonds.
Well, I will tell you, JoJo was a man who thought he was a loner. Something. Get back to where you once belonged. Get back, JoJo. Insert guitar riff here.
Yeah.
Something about Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, something. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey,
The love
June.
you make is
where
equal to the love you
get back
take.
to where. Yeah.
You know, I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden with you.
Number 8.
He's not even referencing anything. He's just telling us what he wants.
Right.
See, would you
So
believe if I sang out of tune, would you stand up and walk out on me?
Now Andres is just reading from his diary right now.
Right.
He's not quoting.
I am the Eggman. Woo kakachoo.
Cuckoo tube.
Oh, thank you. That sounded too Cosby-ish. I don't trust you anymore.
Ooh, I'm the Eggman, you see.
Guys, I don't know why after he did. Guys, I don't know why after he did that. I felt a little tired.
Right. Yeah, those eggs don't look kosher.
You see, I'm the biggest, baddest monster of all time. Because I don't
Was it a
respect
hot
women.
dog he got hit with? Was it a hot dog he got hit with, Andres, in prison? Was it-
A stale hot dog bun.
Right. Okay.
The true horrors of Halloween.
Cosby's and hot dog buns.
Mm.
And pudding bobs.
Pudding pop, getting your pudding popped has a very different meaning in prison.
Oh. Let's see. Skipping down. Let's see. I know.
I'm sorry. Just the image of you skipping down the block. It's like, Andres, what do you mean? Aren't you supposed to be a part of this podcast? No, I'm skipping. Yay!
He's like that little boy in Super Monster, Gamma Super Monster. Raph was like la 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 as he skips away.
Right.
Oh no! Hey, look! It's the Raph Enshohma balloon up in the sky.
This prop cost $8 billion. Enjoy your time with Gamera, kids.
And now watch as he gets blue screen in front of some stock anime that we own here.
Here he comes. Well, that's about all he can do.
There he goes.
Oh, wasn't that exciting?
Cuts us me in stock footage of me fighting Baragon. Why do I have to crawl on my knees and get hit by rainbows? I don't get it.
That's what talking to me is like, Raph.
Gamera Baragon. I'm confused.
Yes.
Not
All right.
Best Baragon, which is the
Right.
Godzilla one.
Yes, the puppy of doom.
Yes.
The one I want to rub the tummy of.
Who's a good boy?
As to quote Brendan Tenold, watch out, Frankenstein! Baragon's ultimate power is getting cuter and cuter.
To some people watching Frankenstein Conquers the World, they see two monsters fighting. To me, I see a boy playing with his dog.
Down, Dino, down! No! And villagers died.
And Mr. Ed, of course, if you remember that scene.
Mm. What's more embarrassing, the horse puppet or the wild boar puppet?
I don't know. They're both equally charming.
Okay.
I think, wasn't there like a quote that Tsuburaya said one time where one person said, hey, why don't we just use a real animal? And Tsuburaya would say, fuck that shit. It ain't as fun. Not in those words exactly.
Yeah, that was Ichituburai. He probably said it just like that. What's the matter to you? We're going to film a three-headed dragon because it's awesome. I'm Ichituburai.
I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional.
Right.
And that's just him going mad with power after spending countless hours on suits and models, only to see them destroyed. He's like, he builds beautiful models, only to see them destroyed again and again and again in an endless loop. It's like,
just like
I create and I also destroy. What sort of an artist am I if I constantly create and destroy at will? Am I an artist or am I a god at this point?
And then he cheers himself up by playing with model airplanes. I'm a pilot.
Probably. It's our headcanon now.
Yes.
Let's see. Brewmakian Productions says, do you consider the original Godzilla as a horror film or something else entirely? That's a good question. I would probably say it could potentially be sci-fi horror.
I'd say more of a thriller.
Okay.
Dark science fiction parable.
I'd say a light romantic comedy.
Of course you would.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. Professor Henry McCoy sent another super chat for $5 saying, Have you hear? I guess, did you hear the Gamera Van song from Death Battle? I don't know what
No.
you're referring to. Are you referring to like the old Godzilla vs. Gamera death battle from Screw Attack? If so, I don't
I think he's
recall.
talking about the. I think he's talking about the song that they played during that fight. They usually make custom songs for battles.
True, yes. I love the song that they used for the Optimus Prime versus Gundam battle, but I don't recall the song from that they use in Godzilla vs. Gamera. To me, it kind of just sounded like a remix of tunes we heard from past movies. Let's see. Luke said, question, have you ever played a Devil May Cry game? They are great. No, I have not.
I have.
Okay.
So, well, all I can say is that Dante is one of my favorite video game characters because of the games.
I can see that.
That also many other games really took from its gameplay.
Like Tetris.
Yes, like Tetris, very much so.
Of
Yeah.
course.
But remember the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movie?
Yeah, who
They
can't?
did a game of that, and the gameplay was exactly the same as Devil May Cry.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I remember. Yeah.
Ironically, the scene where the devil character approaches Nick Cage at the start with the contract for his soul, that's pretty much how Andres approached me to be the editor for the reviews on his channel. I don't know about you guys.
Same me in the
Yeah.
animations.
Yeah, he did the same thing to me after he destroyed my face and forced me to become the Phantom of his personal paradise.
Right, he came all foreboding and like a cloak and everything. I was a bit scared at first, but
Yeah.
Well, Andres also had a bag of candy to offer me as well as a peace offering.
Oh yeah. He just pulled up in his van with his face plastered on the side, and he's like, "Hey, little crooked, you want some candy?"
it's that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kidnapped me for a while there.
But then the Stockholm syndrome kicked in, and now everything's okay. We're all friends now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now we all live in Andres's basement.
Yes. Now let's put on berets and go rob a bank.
Yeah.
You've never known the outside world.
I think Bell's real.
I think all my characters are real too. Welcome to the club, my friend.
Let's see. Manda says, how familiar are you with Kikaider? I have seen the animation, and I loved it. And I've seen the reboot, which I think it's okay.
I'm 100% certain that's not even a real word.
I've seen a couple episodes from the original series, but I wasn't all that impressed. Especially since, I'm the kind of guy who prefers Metalder more so than Kikaider, which I know is blasphemy to a lot of old school tokusatsu purists.
Okay, let's see.
You ruined it, Enshohma.
People talking about Devil May Cry now. Question:
No
if you were
regrets.
kidnapped, and tortured, would you rather be forced to watch All Monsters Attack or Gamera Super Monster? Definitely All Monsters Attack.
Same here.
Well, first off, I gotta say, if I was kidnapped and tortured, if they're just making me watch two dumb monster movies, I think I'm pretty lucky on that account. If that's what the torture entails.
I mean, I left him in a closet. I didn't give him anything.
Yeah,
Right.
would we be watching these movies on a orbiting space station, a satellite, if you will?
No, you'd be watching them on like a 1970s television, Raph. You'd get bad static every now and then. You have to adjust the bunny ears so you could see Ichiro's short shorts in high definition.
Right.
As he twerks on a car, saying "very good, very cheap." You need to see that in the highest quality possible.
Right. This car's for sale. Very cheap. Very good. Stop humping the car, you weirdo.
That's my job. Get away.
Hey, buddy, why are you twerking that car? I gotta go. That was one of the.
It runs pretty good. Well, all right.
That honestly
I'm
sounds like
feeling
something
very
a dub.
uncomfortable right now.
That honestly sounds like something a dub voice actor would say to fill in dead air.
Funny true story. Brayton thought it'd be a great idea to watch Godzilla's Revenge not too long ago, and he thought we were going to suffer through it. But I just had a delightful time with this not so bad, overrated bad movie.
Not so bad, overrated, bad
movie. It's like I don't know. It's like Super Monster Gamera gives me more pain than All Monsters Attack. So it's like I really can't. I can't be too mad with Godzilla's Revenge or All Monsters Attack or whatever we're calling it today.
Well, I think it's a part of a very common phenomenon where you gain a little more respect for a movie you didn't like before by seeing newer movies that you hate even more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like falling in love with somebody you initially hate.
Right.
I know that feeling all the time whenever I look in the mirror.
So.
Let's see. Question somebody says, hey, I know Andres and Brayton don't give a shit about Monster Hunter, but do you, Crookedlore?
I'm actually not much of a gamer anymore, but I do like the character designs.
Okay. I like the monster designs.
The monsters are cool.
I don't know who any of them are, but they look cool. I see a lot of merchandise for them.
There's Winged Monster.
There's dinosaur monster. There's flying monster. There's spiky monster.
There's Brayton Connor.
There's Brayton monster.
There's the scariest monster of them all.
And there's
the most
fabulous. Yes, and Mamagon, the monster of two strict mothers. You cheeky pigs.
And let's see, Professor Henry McCoy says, what is Kikaider? Kikaider is a tokusatsu Actually, I think it was a manga that became a tokusatsu character that then became an anime character. I think he was created by Shotaro Ishinomori, who was the creator of Super Sentai and Kamen Rider.
As well as Brain 17, don't forget that.
And that as well. He did that.
Yes.
Let's see. What's the next question that we had here? Luke said Chris Hansen is coming. Let's see.
Hell's legal, I swear to God.
Don't tell Jack Hawkson that.
She's over 1,000 years old, for God's sakes.
Ooh, me?
Yes, you.
I'm not that old. 1,000 maybe,
so
but not a million.
So you claim.
Does Augustine get to come back now?
No.
No.
Okay.
Oh God, no.
Triumphant of evil.
Let's see. Question. Thoughts on... question. Who is more derpy? Godzilla from King Kong vs. Godzilla or the one from Son of Godzilla?
I'm going to say the one from Return of Godzilla.
Yeah, that trumps all derpiness.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Right.
But I'm going to say Son of Godzilla.
Well, he's like a real... The one from The Return of Godzilla is like a really off-putting, like, Tumblr girl or something. Where, like, you look at it from, like, one angle, it looks awesome and cool as hell.
Yeah.
And then you just look at it from any other angle, and he looks like just a big, fat, stoned guy. He's horrible to look at.
Just like me.
But if if he's like obscured in shadow, he looks fine. Just
I like
don't get too
Bigfoot.
close. Yeah. Like Denny Raw. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say anything bad about him. I work with him.
You gotta look at him from a distance. From a distance, it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
He looks realistic from a distance.
That's alwa's gonna be one.
When
of my
when you
favorite-
don't see the zipper and everything, and the wires holding the Denny Raw.
Haru Nakajima played him back in the 60s. Did you guys know that?
Right. He got his balls burned off playing Denny Raw.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm very uncomfortable
True
right
story.
now.
I got it. That was a kaiju pun.
Zing. Let's see. Professor McCoy says, could you, with another $5 super chat, if you could rewrite Godzilla 98, how would you fix it? I would put more emphasis on Nick Totopoulos and his crew, and make them the focus of the movie. Not so much Audrey. Everything with Audrey, I would take out completely because she's useless. just focus on like the camaraderie between him and the team, and I would attempt to make Nick the Topless a more proactive character like he was in the TV show. And essentially, like, take all the characterization from the TV show and apply it to the movie.
On that note, I actually like your idea that Animal would have been more interesting lead hero. So
yeah, that would be another one. That would be another one. You know what? Make him the underdog news reporter. You know, he's a cameraman, but he always had ambitions of becoming a reporter. So he goes off on his own like the stupid but well-meaning idiot that he is, and ends up running
and now
into
he runs the
crew.
quickie mark.
yeah.
Not anymore, according to the Simpsons staff.
Insert the documentary The Problem with Animal.
I personally prefer The Problem with the Blue Raja.
Holy shit, you're right!
Yeah!
Oh my god!
You got that reference! Hey-yo!
Yeah, was like Hank Azaria has been fucking with Indian stereotypes long before The Simpsons.
No, you
No,
misunderstand.
during
The Blue
Simpsons.
Raja is actually a British reference that, although inspired by Hindu culture, he's actually an American pretending to be a British colonialist. So it's kind of okay.
Pretending to be an Indian.
Yeah, well,
Hindu person.
I can't remember the obscure reference behind the Blue Raja, okay?
Let's see. Kevin Dwyan says, "Hey, KaijuNoir, can you answer questions left from the comments of the last audio synchronicity?" Sure, I can do just that. But to answer the last few questions here, Andres, what's your favorite plot from Super Robot Wars? I don't have any. I don't really pay attention to any of the plots because it's all just a bunch of fan fiction-y nonsense. And plus, most of the games I've played have been in Japanese. Although I suppose the original generation sounds the most coherent because it's all original storytelling.
I have one question.
Yes.
What the hell is Japanese?
It's from that. It's from that place you believe doesn't exist.
I don't think that. I don't believe you.
It's like South Korea, but bigger and an island.
What's South Korea?
It's like China, but not as big.
What's China?
It's a thing that controls America's economy.
Trump?
No, Trump's donors. Trump is just an errand boy. No different than the other monkeys they've had in the White House. Oh! Oh.
Titan of Water, no one can fix Matthew Broderick.
He was Inspector Gadget.
Hey man, he was Simba, alright? And Amanda says, a Mystery Man reference. Didn't see that coming.
No one expects the Mystery Man reference among our weaponry.
Let's see. Professor Henry McCoy says, forgot to add my last super chat. Would you add a monster in the 98 film? Sure, why not? Let's see. And Primal says, what's North Korea?
Doesn't Matthew Broderick count as a monster in the '98 film? Doesn't that count?
Ferris Bueller was the greatest monster of all.
He's history's greatest monster.
My God.
He must be destroyed with war games.
Let's see here. So I have the questions here for Halloween. So once we invite our final guest, then we will start the questions left on by Audio Synchronicity, episode 13.
Okay, I will bring our final guest on board.
Okay. By then we will have, how many of us now? Oh yeah, we'll have a full team of Rangers here.
Nice.
I count as 2 people.
Can't I just be Alpha? I don't want to be a Ranger.
I
think Alpha's more realistic.
I want to be Ninjor.
Where is the Megazord? This is supposed to be a giant, earth-shattering Megazord.
Or Ernie. It's like, I have no powers other than serving fruit drinks.
Can I be Zordon? I really want to make it uncomfortable when I make the White Ranger replace the Red Ranger as the leader.
Oh.
Here's a question. Where does Zordon go to the bathroom?
I
he's
assumed
in-
it was a toilet.
He's
That's
in
what I'm
limbo.
saying.
I assume he has another tube for that.
Yeah.
Okay, there's like a whole connection of tubes for. Okay, I got it. Just curious.
Yeah, it's very very complicated.
Isn't he like in trans-dimensional limbo, and technically he's no longer a physical form, hence there's no need for an anus?
True, but his materialistic waste could be also trapped within its own limbo between dimensions.
Oh my goodness! No wonder the gatekeeper from the dark dimension looked so sad about the sanitary problems in the other universes. I'm sorry, everybody. Now I'm going to the obscure Power Ranger monster references. I'll go sit in the corner.
Now the real question is, why does Zordon pick teenagers with attitude to be his soldiers?
Sounded cool.
Nowadays, teenagers with attitude would just be worse.
Probably. I mean, have you seen the movie? So let's see. Is our last guest now here with us?
Trying to get her on board. Hold on, because I have no idea what I'm doing.
I'm not gonna touch that one.
Okay.
If his last guest is Belle, I'm gonna scream.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'm off that. So, Jack Hoxton does have a thing for cat girls, by the way. Just letting you know.
Of course he does.
Yes.
I'm guessing he has a thing for any type of girl, really.
No. He's celibate. That's just his kryptonite.
Aw.
Psychologist would have a field day with you two. I just know it. And all the little characters you've created in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And I have far more. Ain't that right, Andres? You read them.
Yes, but at least you have the excuse that you've actually written them.
Yes, just written them. I don't see them. Very often.
Meanwhile, you're looking over to your right and you see Augustine flipping you off.
I'm sorry, Master. I'm talking to Belle, by the way.
Right. Oh, okay. I believe our final mystery guest has entered. Will you introduce yourself, please?
I am known to be the snarky, crazy cat lady, known as Win the Rogue, also known as Boo, the boyish wonder, former sidekick.
Hooray!
Wait a minute.
Yay!
Nobody told me you were going to be here.
Oh, God, it's that specious asshole again.
Not specious asshole. Jack Hoxton. The
I
jerk.
heard the other guy. I've returned. I've heard the other guy. Brayton Connor. Who let you out of the closet?
That's not Brayton Connor.
I let myself out of the closet, Crooked. That's how that works. If you're asking about that.
Boo,
Did
this
Belle-
is my...
did Belle get the door unlocked again.
Yeah,
Is
Boo,
Tom
this is
Cruise
my...
still in there?
Yes. Boo, this is my new friend, the Crookedlore. He's an interdimensional, transdimensional thingamajig.
Don't touch me.
But you don't like an arm rub? Yes.
This is what happens when you work with character actors, ladies and gentlemen.
And speaking of characters, he claims to be Brayton Connor, but we know he is really the alien Duke, Kano Branzant.
Yo, what up?
I'm done. I'm going.
That's probably like the least Brayton thing I've ever heard come out of Brayton's mouth.
What this thing I ever heard.
It's like the equivalent of seeing like Harold Ramis from Ghostbusters 2 say, "Yo."
Right. It's the new and improved Brayton.
But anyways, it is very great to have you here, Win, to join us in all of our tomfoolery on this Hallows Eve tonight.
Glad to be here. The festival in town finished wrapping up not too long ago, so I had a little time to kind of hop into this live stream while I packed to get ready to go to LA for the weekend. I'll be home. I'll be home early, probably early Sunday morning, so you can hopefully expect me on SKO if I'm not too tired.
Excellent. Excellent. And I
Andres,
guess,
is LA also a real place?
Yes, it is, Crooked. For you see, not everything, like, there's much more to the world than that one place that you reside in.
I live in LA, and I don't believe it either.
It's a very dark and scary place, that LA. Almost as dark and scary as Japan. Once you go to the weird part of it.
Uh-oh.
I mean, hard to believe that humanity is capable of creating such strange cities.
Are you talking about Captain Wacky's Ramen House of Horrors?
Potentially, Raph.
Okay,
potentially.
All right. Potentially.
So, to explain to my audience who Win is, for anyone who doesn't know, I am a regular guest on MJ Knight's channel. MJ Knight being someone who regularly makes videos based on Knight Rider and Thunderbirds. I am usually often invited to his live stream every Sunday night called Sunday Night Live. Night spelled with a K because puns are awesome, zing. And Win here happens to be one of the co-hosts of the Sunday Night Live stream / podcast. And so since then I had actually introduced Win to both Enshohma and Brayton, and that's how they were able to collaborate together on their Waffle Man radio drama, which was a sort of like strange, bizarre spin-off project off of our Brayton and I's monthly live stream, Audio Synchronicity. So you see, it's just like one thing that spins off to another thing that crosses over to one thing that became a spin-off of another thing. And now here we are, 5 individuals from all sorts of bizarre, a bizarre web of projects and collaborations all here together for the very first time, and I couldn't be happier to be celebrating this year's Halloween with the 4 of you today. So
Aww.
I do want to say that
I feel powerful now. Thank you.
I do want to say before I forget that I am very grateful to be able to spend Halloween with you 4, and I'm very glad all 4 of you were able to were able to have the time of day to come over to my channel here, and hopefully we can continue enjoying answering random questions from our audience.
Oh, well, great. Crooked and Enshohma. Now we can't kill him after that.
I knew you were planning something.
You can't kill me.
Like
My
total
arrogance is too powerful.
after that.
I'm too paranoid to be caught.
You can't kill me. I'm too arrogant for this.
But wait, that wouldn't be very nice. You can't murder a champion of justice with a badass giant robot.
Murder!
Silly fools, robots can't be killed because we have no souls.
And
Like
plenty of
critics.
parts.
Right, I'm a soulless film critic. You know, I already gave up my soul to be the spoiler of all that is fun and decent. Because I take things too seriously, of course. So obviously I'm not allowed to have fun or enjoy things or have a life.
This goes for you, Brayton.
I'm just a dirty, stupid, out of touch critic.
You gave Reptilicus 1 star. You're an asswipe.
It was a crappy movie. Everyone was trying to tell you that.
It's a good movie. It's like a postcard from Denmark covered in acidic snot.
I'd rather wander the streets of St. Louis than go see that movie again.
Right, St. Louis isn't that bad. You gave me a nice vacation after I got down from the scary arch.
You know, I feel like this whole night is being like just one big therapy session for us all under the guise of a Halloween live stream. I think that's what we're really doing.
Really? I see it like all our collaborations is like the Cthulhu mythos of comedy.
I have returned. I realize Tom Cruise is still locked in the closet. Thank God Bell didn't let him out. You don't need that happening.
I blame Lord Zeno for that.
You know, I offered Tom Cruise a banana and he wouldn't take it. I don't know why.
So let's see. Let's check out some of these Halloween-related questions we had from the last live stream. So first question, thoughts on the original 1978 Halloween? I like it.
I'm a big John Carpenter fan in general, so yeah, the movie gets a free pass by me.
I still have nightmares being chased by William Shatner in a mask.
It's probably one of Jamie Lee Curtis's finest works is the Halloween franchise. Don't get me wrong. She's amazing in every other movie I've seen her, like True Lies, but this franchise was what made her shine the most.
But what about Freaky Friday, Win?
We don't speak of that remake. Look, it's bad enough you had this car pull up right in front of me and pull me here into the studio with a bag on my head. But now you bring up Freaky Friday. Oh, God, that movie.
Wait, that's how he got you there? He just asked me to come. That's not fair. I want
kidnapped.
Andres laid a pile of Reese's Pieces, and I followed it, being the alien that I am.
So he gets candy. I I see where I stand.
You get kindness, and you're gonna like it.
There's plenty of Reese's Pieces and gummy bears. Help yourself, guys. Yum, yum.
And let's see, Brayton.
Well, I would echo Wynn's remarks about Jamie Lee Curtis, but direct it towards one Donald Pleasance. And this being Halloween, a Halloween live stream on Andres' channel, could we have Donald Pleasance chime in with a few words, perhaps?
I'm coming. Yes, I'm here.
That'll do, Donald Pleasance. Thank you very much.
Go back.
Words of wisdom, Donald Pleasance. Now go away.
Go back to being dead.
But I was in the Great Escape. Ooh, he's one of my friends. Come forth, Alan Sick. Say hello.
Hello.
Hi,
How
buddy.
are you out doing today?
I'm doing okay. It's good to see enough fellows stiff, alive, and wake.
Thank you.
All right.
This is as loose as I've ever been.
Cool.
These are the most light posts I've ever heard. Let's move on.
Right.
Let's see, next one. Scariest non-horror films. It's not horror, but it's scary. It's scary.
Any Amy Schumer stand-up.
Hi-yo!
Let's see. I want to say Jurassic Park always scared me as a child. It always both fascinated me and scared me.
My pick, oddly enough, would be, as a little kid, Terry Gilliam's Brazil used to scare the shit out of me just because of how hopeless that whole absurd bureaucratic dystopia was. So, of course, when you grow older, you kind of get used to it. But as a kid, it just kind of freaked me out, especially with that kind of hopeless ending or hopeful ending, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Ooh,
Of course,
That's a really fucked up, depressing film if you really look at it. God, it still gives me the creeps a little bit, but in more of an enchanting way these days, I guess. When I was a kid, it just plain out scared me.
If we're giving honest answers, then this is gonna sound stupid, but when I was a kid, I was scared of the live-action Scooby-Doo movie.
Okay.
I'm still scared of that movie. What are you talking?
It's the weird demon rabbit things they had. I don't know why, but they scared me as a kid.
Okay, I thought you were gonna get at the weird computer-generated Scrappy-Doo pissing thing. That is horrifying in an abomination.
I can accept that.
No, I feel
Scrappy-Doo.
I feel bad for giving a serious answer.
Gods, if I had to name off a movie, it would probably be an animated one for me. It would probably be The Brave Little Toaster. When I was a kid,
Oh my god!
I loved that movie as a little kid, but when I went back and watched it when it was on TV when I got into college, I'm all, holy crap, they actually showed this to kids. This is a mind fuck. This is scary shit.
Oh.
This movie's morbid.
Oh my
And
God,
here I
you're
was-
totally right there. That's a very good scary movie.
Yeah, and here I was thinking that movie was worthless.
Worthless.
Get it? It's a song.
And insert all of Enshohma's characters being
Shut
crushed
up!
in a junkyard.
Including Conor Brandt first and foremost. He used to be in
No.
the Indy 5000.
He's invincible.
No, he isn't.
I was in the organization Cold Glue. I always thought that I'd be a super villain, but it never turned out to be true. Let's see. Next question. All-time favorite horror film? For me, that would easily be John Carpenter's The Thing.
Jason X.
Mm-hmm.
What? Not what? What's wrong with the idea of Jason?
I ain't
being
judging. I ain't judging.
into the future, killing teenagers on a spaceship, and somewhere in all this, he turns to a robot. What's wrong with that, Andres?
I told you, I'm not judging you, okay?
But a serious answer is Cabin in the Woods.
Really like that one. Now,
Okay.
did Joss Whedon wrote it or did he produce it?
I think he wrote it. Don't hold me to that.
Okay. And the rest of you guys?
Oh, God, there's too many to pick. You guys go first.
Which count Jaws as a horror movie, or is that
Yeah,
Action.
I'd say
Yeah.
I'd say horror.
okay? Well, that's my favorite movie, so that's probably my favorite horror movie. If you want to split hairs about things,
Does
But,
that mean you like the Meg?
you know what? You can find out in Andres Raff and I's review of the Meg coming never.
I know it's more sci-fi than horror, but I'd have to say Alien because that movie scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Oh yeah, that's totally horror. Sci-fi
Yeah,
horror.
I'd definitely have to say the Alien franchise then, because xenomorphs and that shit can give you nightmares of being killed by a freaking chest burster.
Oh yeah. That's probably gonna make you like afraid, probably make anybody afraid of the whole, even like the concept of pregnancy alone.
No.
You're just gonna think, oh god, it's an alien that wants to burst out of me. Oh god.
You know, I'm thinking about what my favorite horror movie is, but unfortunately I keep thinking of like a bunch of horror comedies. But with that says, there is like this obscure but very offbeat, not exactly too funny, but kind of disturbing in its own right, 1990s horror, period piece horror movie called Ravenous. I don't want to give the plot too much away, but it's about like a isolated fort up towards the American-Canadian border during Western times, and sort of the insanity that happens when a very violent guest is brought aboard and affects the people. It's a really bizarre but wonderful movie, and it's definitely one of those horror comedies where the comedy is kind of hidden beneath the disturbing nature of it, and the disturbing nature is within the comedy. So it's not like the more broad choices I would pick, like Evil Dead 2 or even Bride of Frankenstein or Phantom of the Paradise. But yeah, I would definitely pick Ravenous as far as like more true horror than the horror comedies I've been thinking about.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, and to read someone's response when we were talking about like scariest non-horror films, one person brought up Which Way They Walk, Brayton.
Well, you understand, Which Way They Walk was never meant, wait for it, to be good. So if you interpret it as scary, that's like your own interpretation. So anyway, go on Facebook, like Which Way They Walk, like, yeah.
Wait a minute, you're not Stephen King.
No.
We shall explain this reference after the live stream.
Right, alongside our Meg review.
Yes, we'll explain that as well. Let's see. Moving on. Do you like John Carpenter and George A. Romero? Yes.
Of course.
Hell yeah!
Personally, I don't know. They seem okay.
No, not as
Which
people
one
as
directed?
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I mean, I wouldn't kick him out of bed for eating crackers, but make any judgments.
And John Carpenter loves his graham crackers. That guy, if you move his beard, it's just nothing but graham cracker bits coming out.
That's true. That's true. He wrote a whole synthesized piece. That was what was that? That was Yoshi Mitsubano directed Shin Godzilla, right? Oh wait, no, that was Hideaki Anno. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yes.
The other bearded fellow.
Right. The other one that their name ends with a Anno sound. Yeah. That.
Right.
Anyway, the movie was a masterpiece. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I have to correct myself. I forgot. John Carpenter doesn't have a beard. George Romero has a beard, so
Right.
he's the one who loves graham crackers.
John Carpenter has a
John has
mustache.
a mustache, yeah.
Yes, yeah. That's so. He's looking. I hate to say, I love John Carpenter both as a person, as a storyteller, and a director, but he's starting to look more and more like the main villain from Big Trouble in Little China with every day.
Well, he looks like my granddad. You've seen the picture of my granddad, Raph.
Yeah. It's like my
scary.
first reaction was like, "Oh my God, you know the director of Big Trouble in Little China, Brayton? I want an autograph."
Yeah, he's just constantly in my house playing his keyboard, making like really creepy tunes as I eat my cereal. It's not okay. Just having many weeks.
I wish me and my grandfather bonded that way.
Right. And then oh yeah, and remember Brayton last year for your birthday he gave you a pair of special sunglasses, and you could see the great old ones.
Yeah.
Not to mention a glass jar of liquid Satan.
That's what I call you, Raph.
Liquid Satan, now available in diet.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's what they used to call me on the schoolyard, Diet Satan.
Sinfully delicious, but without
Yes.
calories.
Let's see. Next up, do you find Night on Bald Mountain from the Disney film Fantasia scary? Maybe
great.
as a child, but now, yeah, I would see it as more creepy or disturbing than scary.
I think Night on Bald Mountain should have been the alternate title for Which Way They Walk. Don't you?
He's big enough to fill that mountain.
As a child, yes. As a teenager, I wanted to beat the snot out of him in Kingdom Hearts. And now I just think it's a really well done animated segment.
Mm-hmm.
I never found Night on Bald Mountain terrifying. As a little kid who's never seen monster movies before, I think that was like my gateway drug to like, demons are cool.
As a kid, I was terrified of Steamboat Willie.
Oh my goodness.
It's just nothing but blacks and whites. There's no color at all. What sort of madness is this? It's
Nothing
primitive.
can kill the.
Everyone always had this weird problem with the legs where they kept on bouncing.
And the
You gotta
whistling.
remember.
The whistling.
Cartoons of the 1930s. Everything, including the houses, were alive. They had sentience.
The boats were alive. The tools were alive. The animals were alive.
The hills were alive with the sound of music.
Or is that the sound of mucus?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh,
Ew.
that's nasty.
Right, that's the Reptilicus remake of A Sound of Music.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Let's see. Favorite Dracula film?
Ooh.
Obviously, it's Dracula Dead and Loving It. No. I don't really have a favorite Dracula film because I haven't watched that many to begin with, so I'm just going to have to default to the original Bela Lugosi one.
Would Van Helsing count?
I guess so, yeah.
Then I'm saying that one.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, I like Van Helsing. What's wrong with that?
Oh, okay. Not casting judgment again.
You want to fight about it?
I know. I'm forgetting. A couple minutes ago, you said Jason X was your favorite horror film. I can't cast judgment, so it makes sense.
That's not really my favorite horror film. That's just a family tradition by now.
Yeah. Stephen Summer
Oh.
fight, go! Stephen Summers fight, go! The director of Van Helsing.
I'd have to say Bram Stoker's Dracula because Gary Oldman was a fucking genius in that film. Mind you, Keanu Reeves did botch his British accent, but that's because he was trying to practice it to not botch it, that he kind of second-guessed himself to inevitable failure. But the movie in itself is still pretty damn good.
Yeah, especially on a visual level. It's just amazing. Yeah. So, oh my goodness. Damn it, here I go. Like, I default, it would have to be the original Dracula, but I really like the version of Dracula from the Monster Squad, even if the Monster Squad isn't exactly a classic, despite the popularity it has. So,
if it counted, I probably would have went with Dracula in the Castlevania series.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I want to change my answer. I know what it is. Hellsing, the anime series.
Oh, on that note, does the Vampire Hunter D also count, or is he not really Dracula?
He's not Dracula. He's a Dhampir.
Oh, okay.
A half vampire.
Okay. Oh, so Dracula and Mina got it on.
If that's how you want your head canon to be.
Something like that.
Okay. Well, we could also count League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Let's not.
I like the first. For me, again, the Bela Lugosi movie is fine and all, but I'm a really big. I prefer the first Hammer Dracula movie. Like Horror of Dracula. That's it.
How could we forget Christopher Lee?
He's amazing and terrifying and just scary as all get out. But that's a really well done version of the Dracula story. They kind of get a little more ridiculous because there's like 20 different Hammer Dracula movies after that. But that's a really great version of the story, and it's got a great cast. Peter Cushing is an amazing Van Helsing, and I want to say that Michael Goff is in that movie. Alfred, also the creepy guy from Conga.
Yeah, Michael Goff could play a bastard like no one else could. So
yeah, he's creepy in anything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the only good thing about Trog, that movie. Does Blackula count?
Absolutely, Blackula counts.
Thank you. That's actually not a bad movie, Blackula. I saw it recently. I was surprisrised how well done it was.
Now, Blackenstein, that's a whole other story.
Yeah, just wait till you get to Blackenstein.
What about its other unpopular spinoff, Whitula? It made no sense, but they did it.
Right, or the black creature from the Blacker Lagoon.
It's called the African American Lagoon.
Mm.
You're
right.
That's
I'm racist.
The politically correct one.
Mm.
Although wouldn't it be like the creature from no, I can't come up with anything clever.
From Harlem?
Neither can
from
we.
The creature from the Harlem Lagoon? I don't know. Let's see.
Yes, starring the Harlem Globetrotters as they solve mysteries of various disappearances at the hands of a vampire.
Which
they
solve through dribbling.
Hey, Joe, our bus broke down in front of this creepy mansion. Let's investigate.
Dun, dun, dun,
Wait,
dun,
someone's his weakness. Quick, someone shine Curly's bald head.
Right. The Harlem Globetrotters once battled robots and won.
Hey, if the Three Stooges can become robotic, then why not?
I'm so happy you remember that.
There was actually a TV show around the Harlem Globetrotters being superheroes.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Hanna-Barbera would make anything, would they?
Yeah, that shit played at like 3 a.m.
Oh.
I'm not sure what makes more sense. What makes less sense? That, like Mr. T and the T-Force, the Muhammad Ali cartoon, or the fucking Hammerman show?
Hammerman.
Hammerman trumps all.
This was the 80s and the 90s. I think barely anything made sense then.
True.
Especially the early 80s, but I can't fully testify since I wasn't born until 85.
Mm.
I actually remember watching one episode of that Mr. T cartoon, and they did one of those PSAs at the end, like a lot of cartoons at the time.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, he was telling you not to be a vegetarian.
Really?
Oh my goodness.
He was saying that you need to eat meat to keep yourself strong. It's been forever, but that's how I remember it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And somewhere out there, a vegan hipster is triggered.
I couldn't help but get Mom can't eat my vegetables. Mr. T said not to.
I remember the Mr. T PSA where he says to double check your contract next time you do another season of the A-Team.
Remember, always checking your contract, fool. Or it's gonna be somebody's fool. Like I am. Why do you think I'm doing these stupid reality shows on TLC?
Yeah.
Let's see. Next one. Favorite and least favorite Universal monster movie.
Ooh.
That's a tough
My
one.
favorite has to be Creature from the Black Lagoon.
That's a close one for me. That used to be my favorite for the longest time, but I think maybe Bride of Frankenstein might be my favorite.
Right. I actually have an answer here. I adore The Invisible Man. Like, that's just an hour of pure happiness as far as I'm concerned. My least favorite Universal monster movie, even knowing it's one of those enjoyably sleazy movies, I think The Leech Woman from the 1950s is just like the most depressing.
Oh, come on, Raph. Objectifying women? That's right up your alley.
Oh, no!
Yeah, but okay. The Leech Woman is like one of those incredibly nihilistic 1950s monster horror movies where everyone is a scumbag. Even the people we assume is nice turns out to be a scumbag at the end. It's just, yeah, it's everything The Invisible Man is not. So.
Yeah, the Invisible Man didn't go around smashing people's pineal gland so that he became younger and beautiful.
Yeah, and having to do it like, what, 3 times a day by the end of that movie? So.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, The Leech Woman is a very messed up movie. You've seen it, Brayton. It's a great episode of Mystery Science Theater, but even then, you're like, holy crap, are they really...
It's depressing. It's like you said, it's one of the movies where everybody's just a total jerk, and they all deserve to die.
Yeah, and yet in The Invisible Man, the title character is a mass murderer who commits more crimes than all the Universal monsters combined, and he's way more likable than the entire cast of The Leech Woman. So... Yeah. Ironic. Am I using that term right? I can't tell.
For me, I agree with Andres. I don't know if it's my favorite, but the best one, because I have been rewatching them recently in preparation for Halloween, is Bride of Frankenstein, in my opinion. Which I got to see Bride of Frankenstein on a double bill with the original Frankenstein a few years back when they were showing it as part of those Fathom event type of things at theaters.
Cool.
Yeah, I was the youngest one in the audience by about 40 years, but it was still fun to go and see it there. As for least favorite,
Leech Woman.
Yeah, I'd probably say the Leech Woman. Before you brought up the Leech Woman, I'd probably say what was that one Invisible Man sequel that really sucked? Was it The Invisible Agent or? I think it was The Invisible Agent.
After being accused of being biased against women, I was almost going to say The Invisible Woman, but I decided not to. Oh crap!
The creature walks among us. I don't like either.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's
that was
favorite.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Never have been so angry at a movie before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally just the monster watching everybody being a dick and then committing suicide. Yeah. Like, I ain't going to be a human. Bye.
Let's see. So the last question from Sean Barry, all of these have been from him so far. What modern day horror movie cliches do you hate the most? For me, jump scares.
I have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah. I really hate the thing where they're building it up to be a jump scare and then it's not a jump scare followed by a jump scare. Those are the worst.
The cliche I can't stand is the a-hole characters, like characters who are just assholes for the sake of being assholes, especially when they end up surviving at the end. It's like,
dude, I'm right here.
Yeah. No, you're one of the good ones, my friend.
You say that because I'm here. You only say that because I'm right here.
Right. You're right. I secretly want you to be murdered by Jason. So, Jason the Red Ranger. That'd be a spectacular day.
Right? Anyone else? Nope. Okay.
Yes, I guess no one.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Least favorite
Oh,
horror movie cliches.
I already answered. Okay.
Yeah. Win?
Yes?
Did you give an answer?
No, I didn't. I had to step away for a moment because I had gotten a text.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to say, in terms of favorite Universal monster movies, it's hard to tell since there's quite an array of good ones, but I'd have to say both the old school and the 1999 Mummy movies.
Okay. And,
Yeah.
mhm.
Sorry, I got distracted by a text again.
No problem.
I didn't know your
Now,
cat could text.
Raph, a text is where like it's kind of like an email, but it's on your phone. That's what that
Like a pager?
But yeah, in terms
Smoke signals? I know smoke signals. I'm Cherokee, don't you know?
Remember the
Something
Pony
liberal?
Express, Raph? If you remember the Pony Express, it's kind of like that minus the pony.
Oh yeah,
Is it like a signing ritual?
my uncle Hunkleberry got killed during the Pony Express. Engines got him.
I thought you were an engine.
My family's complicated, okay?
Though I have to say, in terms of least, it's really hard to say since there were some pretty cheesy ones back in the day, and it's really hard to choose just one.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, should we mention the Monolith Monsters?
That doesn't fucking count.
It's a Universal monster movie.
It's a Universal movie. There's no monsters in the Monolith Monsters. They don't count. They're growing.
What if the monster?
All over.
What if the monsters was man the whole time?
Man, the greatest monster. That's true.
Oh, what a Bud and Costello meet Frankenstein counts a Universal monster movie?
Sure.
It's a count.
Yeah.
Because I
Yes.
want to make that my favorite.
Okay. See that I really love that movie, but that's not even my favorite of the Abbott and Costello meets movies. I like there's one that nobody ever talks about, but it's Abbott and Costello meets the Killer Boris Karloff is the title, and it's not. There's no monsters in the movie. Well, I guess Boris Karloff is kind of a monster, isn't he? You know, he's got that name value. He played a monster before. I think he counts. But no, that's a great one. That's a great one.
Let's see. Moving on to another person. What horror movie cliches do you think is underused and overused? So we mentioned horror movie cliches we hate the most. But for a cliche that we think is underused...
I think that's storytelling.
Storytelling? You mean like characters telling a story and then that leads to
I mean
the
just
events
good
of the
stories
movie?
in modern horror movies. I mean just good stories in modern horror movies.
But I'm not sure if that
Oh,
counts
wow,
as a
that's-
cliche.
Well, it's still underused.
I really miss the days of the car won't start cliche.
Oh yeah, that one pretty much died the moment cars started becoming more and more efficient. Nowadays, if you really want to bring back the car won't start cliche, just say it's an American car.
Right.
I've also noticed a lot of people don't have cell phones that don't work in the scenario. They just don't bring them.
Right.
Yeah, that's a cliche I always hated because it's like, at this point, what cell phone provider won't have good coverage?
Guys, I just had a great idea. We should all five of us make a horror movie about a used car / cell phone salesman who tries to get out of his own parking lot, but all his cars and cell phones don't work. It's just 2 hours of him going through each and every one of his merchandise.
Well, now I just want to clarify, Raph, for you, a cell phone is kind of like a
Smoke
kind of like a
signals?
radio, kind of like a
Somebody-
communicator device, but you talk to people.
It's
Like
a-
you can directly
like-
talk to them.
It's like a
Is it-
pager?
A Greek sundial?
Yeah, just like
God?
that.
Is it God? Is texting God?
Yeah.
Should we worship it and sacrifice something?
Yeah. Can we sacrifice Crooked? Can we do that? Can we make that a Halloween tradition?
That's one cliche. The whole ancient monster.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
We haven't seen that in
The
a while.
prophecy and
The
all of
prophecy,
that.
yeah. Every
You know what,
10,000
hold on.
years, the monster would come to Earth, and now it has been that time exactly.
Rawhead
you don't-
Rex, Ghostbusters, and The Mouth of Madness. There's tons of movies like that.
Yeah, we don't have any more Gozers anymore.
Yeah.
You don't see a whole lot of cat girls with pumpkin eye patches in horror movies. I'd like to see more of that.
That's oddly very specific of you, Crooked. Why would you bring something like that up?
I also want to see more Canadians in closets.
Yeah. That's a long-running television series, actually, in Canada.
Oh, geez.
Canadians in Closet. It's kind of like that Jerry Seinfeld show, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, but it's just Canadians in Closet.
What's the
like
deal with Canadians? There's
I
always
was actually
having
recommended to
heart-to-heart
watch that.
conversations.
I was actually recommended to watch that by my sister, the Comedians in Cars
Mhm.
Getting
It's a really
Coffee.
good show. It's really interesting.
Today on Canadians in Closets, we've reunited the entire cast of Kids in the Hall and put them in a giant closet. Let's watch.
Get us out! Let us out! We're here because we're here because we're here because we're here.
Jeez.
Let's see. What are some monster designs that make you say, tries my best James Rolfe AVGN impression, what were they thinking?
Oh, God.
I'm sure there's plenty of them.
My answer would be the
Starfish
Jellyfish Man.
Hitler from Common Rider V3.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, that is. Oh God! So we're gonna go into the world of Japanese monsters and supervillains because there are so many. Like, what the heck were they thinking?
many.
Designs, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of what the fuckery in Super Sentai anime and kaiju films.
Yeah.
I'm counting Japanese stuff. I count any work of the manga artist Junji Ito. If you read any of his work, you think to yourself, what the fuck's going on
Ooh,
here?
I've seen his artwork, and holy crapola, the dude's a man for detail.
Fuck.
His kind of horror is good horror because if you describe it to someone, they think it sounds stupid. That's
Like,
the best kind of horror there is.
Like snail people.
The most evil thing in the universe: spiral graphs. No.
Or balloons invading and killing people. That's an actual story of his.
Oh, I know which one. Oh, I know. Is that the one with like the giant balloon heads? That
Yes.
You know, there's a live action adaptation that was made for video that's just abysmal.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, even ends with like an action movie apocalyptic stinger at the end. It's bad. It's bad. Brayton's like, what the hell are you talking about? Balloons.
I don't know. I thought you were talking about like some weird sequel to the Red Balloon. I wasn't sure.
Nice.
Like,
red
there's
balloon.
balloons.
There's balloons, and for Gosei Sentai Dairanger, you were under attack by the eerie thing that is a tube of lipstick. Seriously?
Oh,
A fucking tube of lipstick.
It's ironic you should say that, considering the title card,
A
and I
first
too.
snatcher and
I-
lip syncer from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
wasn't
glad to
there-
hear that Stephen King writes Japanese media now.
Wasn't there also like a purse monster in Power Rangers?
Yeah, First Head, and that was in a separate episode of Gosei Sentai Dairanger.
You know, when you think about it, you bring up a good point because Dairanger is just the monsters in that. The Gorma is weird because, yeah, in Power Rangers they explain it off as Lord Zed brings furniture and objects to life and make them monsters.
Mhm.
But in Dairanger, they're ancient, semi-human Chinese sorcerers, the Gorma tribe, which can take on a secondary monster form, yet for some reason all their secondary monster forms are contemporary human objects. Like, that makes no sense. That's like if Julius Caesar could transform into a cell phone.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why can't he turn into a cell phone?
It's like you hear a phone go off, you see a familiar face pick up, and the text message says, "To brute?" Question mark. Angry emoji, angry emoji, angry emoji,
right.
dead emoji.
Wouldn't the Caesar possessed cell phone actually say, "Countrymen, lend me your ears"?
Oh god, that would be a disaster. He'd probably brainwash some asses.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, how about that weird like little goblin guy from Jew Ranger? The one that where it's like he makes. I forget what he does, but I think he accidentally makes a child turn giant.
Yeah, the elf. Yeah, no, he's. I don't know his Japanese name, but in Power Rangers he was called Tickle Sneezer the Elf. But in the
he was Trini's doll.
Yeah, but in the Japanese version, he was a honest-to-goodness Earth-based elf who was trying to get a job with Finster, but was rejected. So him and a bullied child decided to join forces and become their own villain group. And the climax is both him and the kid turned giant size. So it's a giant elf fighting a giant robot fighting a giant Kenny.
All I'm hearing is the best plot for probably the world's greatest buddy cop film.
Oh, man. I actually love a lot of the monsters from Zoo Ranger because they're, as you can see, we have at least 2 of them on the title card right now.
Oh yeah.
But
by the way, would you like to explain the full roster of baddies we have here on the title screen alongside Draco Megazord?
Yes. Now, of course, for the Halloween, it's also the 25th anniversary of Power Rangers?
Yes, this year is the 25th anniversary.
Yeah, so originally I was going to plan on doing like a spoof of like the Nightbreed poster, but it would have been Draco Zool with various Halloween-themed Power Ranger monsters, but eventually evolved into this more semi-serious action bit. And the monsters we have, they're all Halloween-y or Halloween-ish. Okay, on the left is the mastermind, Imperius, who is sort of a... Yes, who is this powerful sorcerer mummy and has a bit of a flamboyant personality. Brayton would love this guy.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, if Brayton
My linen looks fabulous.
Yes, exactly. I love being powerful is like one of his lines. And he's like, I think he's like the best main villain, like one of the big bads that were featured in Power Rangers Mystic Force, as well as Maji Ranger, its Japanese counterpart. And I figured he's sort of the big honcho of villains here. So, and next, going to the right, we got Necroli, or I unfortunately don't know their Japanese names that well, so forgive me, my Super Sentai fans. But she is a vampire. In Maji Ranger, she was actually these 2 Lolita goth girl vampires who could merge into a singular super vampire. In Mystic Force, she was actually the queen of the vampires and had a very human-looking daughter named Lily. Eventually, she's one of those Power Ranger monsters that goes to the good side at the end. Next up, we have Bones from Power Rangers first season, a.k.a. Doris Skeleton from Zoo Ranger.
Damn it, Jim.
I actually remember that one.
Yes.
I remember that one, too. I think that was one of the ones with various continuity errors, because they showed a clip from a different episode of frickin' Zero Ranger in the middle of that.
Oh, yeah. It's...
Bones, DeForest Kelly, the greatest Power Ranger monster of them.
Yeah, that was a weird episode because Rita Repulsa joined forces with the Enterprise crew, and they decided to attack the Rangers. But no, Bones is he's obviously based on just like random skeleton monsters, but he's also in Zoo Ranger a slight callback to Golden Bat in his design.
Oh yeah.
That's the reason he's wearing a fedora and cape and why he fights with a rapier or a thin fencing sword, if you will. And of course, there's tons of like really great skeleton monsters and all across Tokusatsu, but Bones had such an appealing design that I couldn't let him be. And plus, he's been making a lot of cameo appearances recently in Power Ranger media, like the RPG game and the video games.
Yeah, I think he was the first boss in the Super Nintendo video game.
Yeah, and even if you don't know the whole backstory behind Bones and the reference, it's a skeleton wearing a pimp cape. How can you go wrong with that?
Plus, he has a hat.
Yes, exactly. So
I like guys with hats. Makes them more intimidating.
Right. Now, of course, we have the Frankenstein monster. Now, Zoo Ranger, all their monsters were based on creatures from literature or mythology, minus the oddball, like a turtle with a traffic light coming out of his head.
That was Gamera's special cousin.
Wait, you guys don't have the urban legend where you are?
Yeah.
It's a very well known urban legend around here.
Yeah, Brayton, you're Canadian. Don't you have like urban legends of turtles with traffic lights coming out of their backs?
No, best we've got is Krager, Raph.
Oh,
He's
yes.
got all-
Gamera's hillbilly cousin, who you'll be meeting
Yeah.
very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, one monster was obviously a take on Frankenstein's monster. And of course, in Power Rangers, they kind of used the clever conceit that he's actually a monster disguised as a party goer at a Halloween costume party. Yeah, and what's cool is he's actually played by an actor who is both a suit actor but also an actor, and he's like this big, beefy, scary guy. So yeah, he's so cheesy and fun in either form. And of course, the bane of my existence, the Godzilla to my Mr. Taco, the pumpkin wrapper, who was although he was created in Japan, he was done exclusively by the American production, since they were running out of Zoo Ranger footage. So they hired Japan to actually make new monsters and new fight scenes. But that's when Saban realized that, contrary to popular belief, Japanese monster footage and effects are way more expensive than they realized. So that's when they started just cannibalizing Die Ranger footage. But anyways, the pumpkin wrapper is, of course, a pumpkin monster. He has a great design, but that constantly rapping voice of his just gets annoying after a while. Although, ironically, the actor who does his voice, Michael Scorch, he would go on and voice almost all the monsters in VR Troopers, because VR Troopers was a very low-budget show. And last but not least, in the background, in the graveyard, we have the monster Doomstone. Or one in Die Ranger, he's actually a good guy, like a Gorma general who is actually a nice person, and he's a part of a trio of Gormas who are known as the Three Gorma Stooges: Teacher Telephone, Kamikaze Captain, and this Tombstone creature. And they're actually good guys, despite being antagonists. Think like Team Rocket if they were the one-eyed Lord Zed monsters.
Were they also joined by General Nefarious, Captain I'm a Bad Guy, and General Bone to Pick?
Don't forget Evil McEvilin. So. Yeah,
do they also pose and give speeches like Team Rocket?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
it's Sentai. Everybody poses.
Yeah, I actually like monsters in Super Sentai who make recurring appearances and are not complete bad guys. But in Power Rangers, he was a little more scarier. He was, despite the pun name I'm about to say, Doomstone, and he was a Tombstone monster Lord Zed created who could resurrect other monsters as easily as waving a hand. And apparently, he's one of the few Power Ranger monsters who never got killed on screen, so he's out there somewhere.
He's like, hey guys, can I join your party over there on the title screen?
Right. So,
I heard he also OD'd behind a Hardee's alongside Pumpkin Wrapper.
I thought Doomstone and Pumpkin Wrapper were just smoking weed outside the Quickie Mart.
Oh.
There is no Quickie Mart anymore. Everything was taken over.
Okay, so
let's see.
Oh, wait, no, I was thinking of the Mart from Jay and Silent Bob. I'm sorry, I got my references mixed up.
I think you mean like the Quick Stop?
Yes, thank you, the Quick Stop. Yeah. Oh man, that darn it. See, now here comes the part where Brayton says, "Wow, Enshohma, you talking about Power Ranger monsters for a full 5 minutes? I would not expect that."
Oh, no. I just find it amazing that Power Rangers never turned down an opportunity to make a stupid pun. I love that about it.
Now I have a freaking mental image of Pumpkin Wrapper going, $15, little man, put that shit in my hand. If the money doesn't show, then you owe me.
Oh, no, there's a Pumpkin Wrapper I would follow into battle.
Win just won the live stream for tonight.
Woohoo!
That was so close.
One person asked, where's the Sphinx monster? And it's like, sorry, not Halloween-y enough.
Yeah, I know everyone loves King Sphinx, but no, I decided just to stick with like the more famous Halloweenish monsters. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I tried
a spider.
Yes, and a golden ghost demon. I actually did artwork for the slimy spider, who is like one of the, as my friend Jesse, also known as Berkeon, would say, the only good spider monster from Super Sentai, because he actually looks like a spider as opposed to a jumble of black rubber.
So where's Bryan Cranston in all this? The most terrifying Power Ranger monster?
Oh my goodness!
He was the Grumblebee.
Yeah, was he the Grumble? I thought he was just a Snizzard and Twin Man. So
I heard he was the Grumblebee too. but
Oh.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I love
by the
that
way,
name, by the way.
I the Grumblebee.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Take this, Power Rangers, buzz!
all my childhood memories have been wasted. No, what's funny is I actually have a sketch that I've been meaning to turn to a full-blown illustration called Breaking Snizzard, where it's the Snizzard, but he's cooking up some blue cocaine. So because Bryan Cranston voiced that monster, and I just instantly destroyed Brayton's favorite show.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
That
But for
I
the,
really want to see that.
for the spider that we almost included, his name was Spidertron, right?
Yeah,
In America.
He's not a robot. It's just Power Rangers again, like Brayton says, just picking a really stupid name. He's also known as the Slimy Spider, but he was basically a giant. He looks fantastic. He's a great-looking giant spider
which
costume.
Sentai or Power Rangers team he was in?
He was from Zoo Ranger. Again, he was
Okay.
based on basic mythology of spiders, but in Power Rangers, he was kind of a not an antagonist directly towards Zack himself, because Zack had a recurring subplot where he couldn't stand insects or arachnids, and of course, whenever giant insect monsters showed up, he was like, "Ugh!" But yeah, we almost had Spidertron, and unfortunately, he didn't fit, even though he was the first monster I colored. And I tried putting in Diabolico, one of the lead villains from Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. Think Thunderbirds versus Demons from Hell, basically. So, but and it works too, because Diabolical, in addition to being a demon, he becomes a ghost. So that's like double Halloween right there.
You could have put one of their heads in the corner, just have them looking up, going, "Hey, how's it going? I'm right here."
Like, I got tons of. What I regret is I had a golden opportunity to put more silhouettes in the background. I could have put tons of monsters in here. So,
although, you know what? I feel like when it comes to going back to the original question of worst monster designs, I think we can all unanimously say that anything from Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills would have been good contenders.
Yep.
Yeah.
Andres, could you say that title one more time?
Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills.
Okay.
God.
Okay.
That show, I could go on for days with how cringy that show was.
I mean, look
my God.
I'm sharing this image with you guys here, but the audience can't see. I'm sharing what I like to call Mr. Kabuki Man. This is what passed for a monster in this show.
You know what sucks is this. I know this guy's name, Ninja Bot.
Why do you know this name?
Because I have a 900-page list of monsters. Damn it! This is how pathetic my life is. And it grows every day. Damn you, 2018. When me and Jesse, we have this podcast series we're gonna get back to called Review All Monsters, where we review every giant monster movie and television show ever made. Would you be willing to come in and share your grief for the Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters episode?
Yes.
Okay, so
Now do know this will be in about 200 years that you'll be on the show.
that's okay. We'll probably do a skip ahead just to get to the more
At
comical
our current
cringy
rate.
stuff.
Oh, and by the
Yes.
way, here you can see them reenacting the what's it called, the Gorn fight from Star Trek.
That's Cobras.
I hate you, Raph.
And that's Neutron the Night, which is the... Oh god, why do I know this? Let's get back to the Power Ranger monsters.
You said Cobra ass.
Actually, wait, I know. Okay, I don't know any of these characters. I'm sorry.
So yeah, Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills was a thing, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's
do
also
have-
a great name for a band.
No, it's not. You shut up.
Tattooed Teenage Danger Noodles from Beverly Hills.
That is slightly better.
Okay.
The other one, next question was, what is your dream mainstream / non-mainstream horror movie crossover? Okay, what's your dream movie crossover? Your dream horror movie crossover?
Medea versus Jason.
Beautiful.
Oh, Jason wouldn't stand a chance.
No. Medea would racial stereotype him to death. It'd be over in seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And follow it
Deadpool
up.
versus Michael Myers.
Okay. Let's see. This is a tough one. I would say... I want to see Frankenstein. And... Oh, no, you know what? No. How about the Wolfman meets the creature from the Black Lagoon? Both
nice.
both are feral monster creatures. You know, both are animalistic creatures. So it's like, how would they be able to duke it out?
Oh, how about Godzilla versus Jason? I don't know how it worked, but I want to see it.
I think I saw fan art of that, of like Jason chopping off Godzilla's arm.
There was a Robot Chicken sketch of it too.
Oh, really? I know we did get Wolfman versus Godzilla, which is still not yet complete.
I would like to see like Destroy All Monsters, but with like famous and not so famous American giant monsters. So like the Beast from 25,000 Fathoms, the titular giant robot from Kronos, the Monolith monsters, the funky looking T-Rex from the Land Unknown.
What the
giant
fuck are
claw.
the monolith monsters gonna do, Raph? What, are they gonna fall on them all until they die?
Well, wouldn't it be great? Like the giant claw and Talos from Jason and Argonauts are just standing there waiting for the rocks to slowly come at them. So and they look at each other like the T-Rex and Triceratops.
It's like the guy. It's like that scene in Deadpool where he's gonna run over the guy with the Zamboni. That's what it's like getting killed by the monolith monsters. You gotta wait for it.
Right. Joking aside, I would like to see like all these classic and not so well known American giant monsters join fighting each other in like a big Destroy All Monsters type melee match. So or just bring back the giant claw and have her fight anybody. So
Can we also add?
Yeah.
We also had Nemesis, Clover from Cloverfield, and Belle to this.
Why not?
Confirmed, Giant Claw is secretly Master Hand from Smash.
Melee! Dun, dun, dun,
Right.
dun, 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 dun.
I can't get that on my head now.
You're welcome.
You're wrong. Okay.
Let's see. The last question from this individual. What American horror movie would you like to see I'm reading it how he wrote it. What American horror movie would you like to see a Japanese adaptation? So it's like, are you saying you want an American movie to be adapted for Japan? Or, I guess that's what he's asking for. Which is very odd, but what sort of Japanified version of a horror movie would you, of an American horror movie would you like to see?
Well,
I'd
so
like to see
just
them
to.
Okay, you go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'd like to see that take a Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
That would be cool. I was just gonna say, keeping with my theme, I would like to see a Japanese version of Boo a Medea Halloween. I think that would be something to see.
But Brayton, you know Asians don't like black people.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. See, I'm not in tune with Japanese culture. That's why I don't like Shin Godzilla. Is because I'm not a 14-year-old white kid living in my parents' basement who understands about Japanese culture and wants to crucify people who don't like the movie online because they don't get it.
Yeah.
One time, Brayton.
Sorry. Just had to throw stones there.
Right. I would like to see a Japanese take on the famous tragic tale of William Shakespeare's King Lear, but done in samurai times. Oh, wait a minute, that was already done. A Japanese version of The Wiz.
That's not horror.
Oh, I'm watching it right now. It's the creepiest thing that got going on Halloween right now.
Hey, you call Diana Ross whatever you want, Andre. To some people, that is horror.
Was there a Japanese version of The Magnificent Seven?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't.
I
think
don't
of it.
know.
I don't know.
I'd say the more darker version was Return to Oz. That shit
Right.
was ugh.
Oh, I love Return of Oz. I wanted to when I was a little kid. I wanted to be a wheeler when I grew up.
Unfortunately, some dreams can't come true, Ralph.
Yeah, I'm not half man, half bicycle.
It's an empty dream to begin with.
Yeah. Brayton would make a good wheeler, now thinking about it.
Thanks, Raph.
You're welcome.
You'd make a great
Gnome
wasn't there a giant bird in that movie, like a big turkey or a rooster or something?
Wow. No, that was like a ill-fated television special of the Thanksgiving Oz, and there was like a turkey balloon turned into a living creature by the same magical dust that brought the Gump to life.
Oh.
Why do I know these things?
Because you're a loser. Shut up, Jack.
Nobody asked you, Jack.
Thank you, Boo.
Hey, I heard the other guy. Am I allowed back?
No!
You're always back to me, baby.
Get him away from me right now.
Gay?
It's not gay. It's loving and wholesome. And, oh, damn it! It's gay.
I like this girl. She reminds me of Belle.
Let's see. Trying to look for another Halloween-themed question that we had here, but oh yeah, I didn't answer mine. What sort of horror series to have in Japan? I would kind of say like The Thing, but I guess Parasite is sort of like The Thing in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be interesting to see what happens if, like, Japan ever made a Creature from the Black Lagoon series. Like, would they just turn it into
giant monster movies?
Yes, they do, surprisingly enough. I know you don't believe Japan exists, Crooked, but that is a thing that they do.
And every time you tell me more about it, I just believe it less and less.
Yeah. You do know the Power Ranger monster Ragon or Ragon. I don't know how it is.
Ragone?
Ragon. No, not August Ragone, an even scarier creature. No
one's scarier than August Ragone. Don't try to fool anybody.
He's got an infinite supply of knowledge on the history of Japanese cinema that he will go to town with you with.
Yeah, he will furiously comment on your post about how wrong you are about a minute fact, Raph. If you don't watch out, you better be careful.
I've been there. Hey, kid,
I know
read
you
my
have.
books.
Yes.
Capiche?
Hey, you think you knows everything about Godzilla's? Read my fucking book and then talk to me. Hey, bada bing.
Bazing! Anyways, oh god,
Ragone, you just got schooled by Ragone, alright? Ragone, out.
Yeah,
Ragone.
Yeah,
but
the monster.
Fear not, my friends. There's hope. There's help. There's the please get a life foundation.
Tell me more about this amazing organization.
Right after these commercial messages.
Oh man. It's like watching The Wiz all over again. This is a weird movie.
So it looks like that is it for the Halloween-related questions, except for this one asshole here named Enshohma. Not sure if we should answer his questions.
Oh, ignore that guy. Ignore that guy.
All right, so let's take live questions now. Let's see. We have one person from S452 saying, "Inquiry. Have you guys seen the Mars Attacks or Dinosaur Attack cards? If so, would you like to see a more faithful, card-accurate remake of Mars Attacks or a Dinosaur Attacks movie?"
Huh.
So in other words,
I remember
would you like
Mars Attacks, but I don't remember Dinosaur's Attack.
That was
Yeah,
go ahead.
Go on, Andres.
No. You're the expert here. You're the Ragone of this group.
No, as Brayton would say, I'm just a sad little man who hides behind a mask, watching monster movies all day. No. Dinosaur Attacks was a spin-off from Mars Attacks that came out in the 70s,
I thought Dinosaur's Attacks was the 90s.
Like Mars Attacks, it had a brief resurgence during the 90s trading card period. So there were some new cards made for the series, but originally started in the 70s, and it was about giant dinosaurs appearing around the world, killing people in various ways.
The fuck out of them.
Yeah, and it's revealed that the only reason these dinosaurs are here is because they've been brought back through time by the Great Saurian, who is sort of the dinosaur version of Satan.
Yeah.
It was a weird series. And ironically enough, based on that last gentleman's question, they actually were thinking of making a Dinosaur Attacks movie, but it never got off the ground because of the so-so success of Mars Attacks.
Right. Now, would you like them, Raph, would you like to see a more like horror, gory version of Mars Attacks as opposed to like the more whimsical Tim Burton comedy we got?
That's a good question. Like,
because
I wouldn't mind.
I like Mars Attacks.
Yeah, I like Mars Attacks too. I think it's a little too mean-spirited, even knowing it's kind of like kind of toned down the mean-spirited humor. But other than that, I don't know. I think the Mars Attacks Martians work better as like these darkly humorous bastards, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. But being the giant monster freak that I am, I would not mind seeing like an extremely gory, dark comedy take on Dinosaur Attacks, as long as it doesn't go into like nauseating trauma levels of gross out humor. So, but that's kind of a like. I don't think you could make a Mars Attacks movie and have it as bizarrely satisfying as the Tim Burton movie from the 90s.
Okay.
So, plus it had Tom Jones in it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And Jack Black, I completely forgot he was in that movie.
Oh yeah, before everyone realized he was funny.
Yeah, he was just
was
that
everyone
guy.
else confused seeing Jack Black and Peter Jackson's King Kong? I had to ask that.
A little bit. I always forget he's in that movie.
The greatest comedy in the world.
I did. He did pretty well as his role as the film director.
Yeah.
And then he became R.L. Stein.
And actually did well in that. And he voiced Slappy.
And isn't he in a new movie?
I like that one.
Isn't he like in a movie, a new movie, family movie that came out like this month or last month?
A clock with a house with a clock in the wall.
House with a clock in the wall.
Yeah. One of my Japanese students, adult students, told me about that movie, and it's like, oh, cool. Did you enjoy Jack Black in it? And she's like, who? It's like, oh, Japan doesn't really know who Jack Black is. Well, let me take you down a road to a little band called Tenacious D.
You pull out your guitar and then you bring out your own personal title.
Then you and your Japanese student were walking down a long, lonesome road until you met a devil in the middle or a demon in the middle of the road. Right? Is that where?
That was me.
Yeah.
Play me the best song in the world, or I'll take your soul.
Yeah, Andres found my tooth that someone turned into a guitar pick for some reason, and I finally got it back.
Only to have been taking your horn.
Musical thing.
I'm the devil. I love metal. Let's see. One person says Dinosaur Satan is best Satan.
He's also best girl.
Depending on your headcanon. Let's see.
Elizabeth Hurley? Is that what that reference was to? Crooked?
No, I'm making fun of every anime fan ever.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Brumakian Productions says, query, if the Iron Giant was re-released in theaters, would you go see it in a heart? I guess he meant heartbeat. Also, you missed my other question. Yes, actually, I did see it when it was re-released in theaters like a couple years back. And to answer your question, Bermakian, I think you asked, why am I here? I think that was your last super chat. And to answer that, I'm going to guess you're here for the shenanigans.
I am here, ... now.
I can explain it. I can explain it perfectly. You see, all of you had mommies and daddies who loved each other very much, and when they touched hands, a baby was born. That's why we're here.
I was talking about a bird doing this.
Right. Oh, the storks.
The stork
where do I
comes
put
later.
them in? Yeah. And there was like 9 rings that rule them all. Like, I don't know how the story goes.
Although, do parents even share the story about the stork anymore? Is that still a thing?
I know I will. That'd be best. Yeah. I just love the idea of messing with my kid's head.
I mean, I'm still going to tell my eventual children about Santa Claus, but I was never even told about the stork when I was a young child.
I'm going to tell my kids about Krampus. Now it sounds straight during Christmas.
Right. My kids are going to worship Buckrug, the great water lizard.
Your kids in Shoma.
Let's see.
I can adopt or build them out of wood and get a.
You mean Jack Hogson and Miss Blue? Is that who you're talking about, Raph?
You're my children, right, Jack?
Shut up, Jack!
I guess that's a no.
See, Graffenixor's
Augustine, shut up! Sorry.
question Andres, when are you at the movie theater, Japan, or is it when you are at the movie theater in Japan, is it sub or dub? Both. If it's a foreign movie, it's both, but there's often, as the weeks go on, there are less English showings and more of the Japanese dub show times. Let's see. Question from Kevin. Other from monster movies, other than monster movies, what other exploitation subgenre?
Some of these comments are like bad Mill Creek subtitles, Andres. What is going on?
I'm trying to correct them as I can. Let's see. What other exploitation subgenre you enjoy watching every once in a while? Mine's are Bruceploitation, Blaxploitation, cannibals, and rape revenge movies. That's certainly quite a list.
That is.
I like blaxploitation movies that have a fantasy edge to them, like Blackula, The Thing with Two Heads, and a kind of a distant
Africa. No, not Shaft in Africa. Not that one.
No, Brayton. No, go sit in your corner. And to a distant extent, Live and Let Die, the James Bond movie that kind of heavily leaned into like blaxploitation. So.
In Goblin Slayer, I've noticed that he was killed. That main character kills goblins, which are rapists. So I guess that counts as rape revenge.
He's going after them for revenge.
And they rape, and he kills them for it.
I guess post-apocalyptic movies I tend to enjoy. I haven't seen a whole lot of post-apocalyptic media, but from the few that I've seen, I've been quite a fan of. Be it, let's see, of course, Mad Max. Let's see, Fist of the North Star. Let's see, Violence Jack. Not the anime, but the manga. Let's see. I'm sure there's probably a few more, but I've always liked that sort of
Godzilla
idea.
Monster Planet.
Oh. Don't worry, guys. It's going to end on a high note with Danger Noodle.
Anyone else here has a certain genre of films they enjoy watching?
I don't know if I ever really enjoy one genre over another. It really just depends on movie to movie for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, of course, mexploitation for me, if you can call it that.
El Santo, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
Ooh,
What genre would it be?
Wrestling, Mexican mask wrestler exploitation films.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
What's it called when an Irishman fights a dolphin? Is that a type of genre?
Wow, I've never heard of that
Irish
question before in my
exploitation
life.
films? I don't know.
I haven't really heard of that.
Dolphin exploitation?
Because I call that my family life, so...
Oh.
I'm not gonna ask.
Right. You're half dolphin?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That explains everything.
Does that mean you're still trying to find your porpoise in life?
Oh!
I'm leaving now.
Someone had to do it.
It's a pun! Get it?
Snap!
I'm gonna go in my
What had to
corner
do-
now. I don't need this.
I hate you all!
Let's see. Question: have any of you seen Shane Black or Fred Decker's Predator movies?
Nope.
Nope. He
No.
said apparently it's too comedic from what I hear. All right. Next is Inquiry. Is there any story or franchise that isn't very popular / well-known which you feel could make for a great or fun film, show, or game? For me, it would be the Scarlet Traces comics. Okay, so a story that's not popular, but you feel could be made for a great thing, adaptation.
Well, there's this book coming out called God's Wrath Tournament of the Vine. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, if you're into, gods from every religion beating the shit out of each other in a tournament.
And the art being done by Bigfoot. That's also kind of appealing.
True.
Plug that sucker.
Let's see. Maybe there's a little robot you haven't heard of named Draco Azul. He protects Mexico from giant monsters. That could be a cool, fun film, show, or game.
Is he a Mexican wrestler, Andres?
No, but he can fight like one.
But he's a Mexican who fights. Does that kind of count?
No.
No, I'm
He's
Mexican.
got to wear a mask. He's got to wear an overly elaborate mask and go on adventures that normal Mexican wrestlers would not go on
True.
in the day-to-day life.
Yeah.
And fight like aliens and vampires and mummies that are not really mummies. They're just people with clay on their faces.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't forget the Brainiac.
Oh god.
Let's see. I guess, anyone else? Any obscure stuff you think could be made into something bigger?
Gamera.
True.
Yeah, let it all out, Raph. Tell us about it.
He deserves a second chance.
He did get a
You
second
know what?
chance in the 90s.
And
I
then
would
they
actually
blew
like
it.
to see. I would like to see more Blue Beetle from DC Comics.
Okay.
That would be
I
pretty
really-
neat.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what? I would like to see a Good Spirit adaptation.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, I'd love that too. Another thing I got into a steampunk comic series called Lady Mechanica a couple years back, and I would love to see it as a television series or an animated series, because as Kaiju knows, I'm a big frickin' fan for steampunk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, steampunk and
That's-
all things fantasy.
Ooh, speaking of like obscure-ish comics, The Amazing Screw-On Head, especially if you've seen that animated pilot.
Yeah,
The
I
pilot
remember
was
that.
really good, yeah. I have two more obscurities I want to... Like, there's a lot of, like, really good tokusatsu series beyond Kamen Rider and Super Sentai that I think definitely needs revisiting. Metal Dur, Just Beyond, and recently, like, SS Gridman, SSSS something Gridman. That's been a really good retake on that fairly obscure show. But also, a friend of mine brought up a really good point online that a lot of Disney's live-action output from the 60s and up to the 70s gets overlooked immensely, especially in this day and age where it's either their animated fare from the so-called Disney Renaissance or Star Wars and Marvel. And there's a lot of interesting live-action movies that I don't think really need to be remade but definitely revisited or at least given better DVD releases.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but then again, I'm one of the few people on Earth who thinks Herbie Rides Again is a good movie. So yeah, don't ask my opinion.
Dude, I will say, I've always mentioned this, but it has to be said. If they're going to remake any movie into live action, it needs to be The Black Cauldron.
Yeah.
Oh god, that would be badass, especially with the CG effects. The Horn King would look freaky as hell.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Oh.
if there is one thing I have seen that I would not mind actually becoming a TV show finally was there was a pilot, 10-minute pilot for a show called Constant Pain, which kind of had a futuristic and steampunk vibe to it. And I watched it and I really found myself enjoying that pilot, and I would love to see that and see the modifiers become actual cartoons.
Was Constant Pain, was that the one that had like a pseudo-American anime look to it?
Yeah, and it kind of starred this dude and his daughter.
Oh, yeah, I remember Pan Pizza talking about that on his YouTube channel, Rebel Taxi. Apparently, they didn't pick that show up because the creator of Constant Pain was actually in support of, like, labor unions for the animation industry. And when the studio heard about it, they were like, "Nope, looks like we're gonna drop you in your show."
Nickelodeon involved in corporate skullduggery? I've never heard of such a thing.
God, I'd love for a company like Netflix to pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh, another DC character I would like to see a movie or a series for, Etrigan the Demon.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Gone, gone, the form of man. Awake, the demon, Etrigan.
Now, with that says, would you go with the horror route or the kind of dark fantasy route that character's usually connected with?
I would try to, I'd go with the dark fantasy route a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
And I also try and maybe have it that he is able to talk to Etrigan, kind of like what they did with Venom. And the Venom with the symbiote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see. One person asked this multiple times. What's the scariest anime, Darling in the Franxx or Cross Ange? Cross Ange? Ange? It's Ange. I haven't heard of Cross.
I don't know what the other one is. I hated the first one.
And I've never seen Darling in the Franxx, but I've heard mixed opinions from a lot of people online.
I'm one of them.
But I know, Win, you enjoyed Darling in the Franxx, right?
Yeah, I wish the ending could have been better, but I liked the mecha battles. They were really well done, and I kind of liked the mech designs. But then again, I'm pretty enamored with Studio Trigger's works. As you can see, I'm pretty hooked on Gridman currently, and I loved Kill la Kill.
I enjoyed Kill la Kill, yeah.
Yeah. A short... Go on. Sorry, I had a short question for all you guys.
I was going to say, and I found it kind of an interesting concept, and that they somehow managed to kind of mix a botany analogy into it, involving the pistil and the stamen. It's just kind of... It kind of caught my attention, which is why the mechs were piloted the way they were, because the women piloting would represent the pistils, and the men would represent the stamen. So they would need to work together to operate the mech fully functionally.
So, is it a metaphor for sex?
It sounds sexy, that's all I know.
In a way, it's a mecha series mixed with a dystopian future setting.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those shows you have to see for yourself to kind of figure it out, because you can't really explain the concept into words. It's not like where you can tell someone that animes like Toriko and Shokugeki no Soma are pretty much Iron Chef on steroids.
One thing I will say about the ending, I saw it coming. As soon as the series started, I knew how it was going to end. That's what disappointed me.
Is it like Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill, where it's just another big battle in space?
In a way, yeah. Except the ending was a little bit more disappointing.
Huh. That seems to be the common what do you call it? The common consensus, general consensus.
Decline that.
Let's see. Thank you very much, guys, for your opinions on that. Question: why is Gundam Seed hated? Gundam Seed is another series I've heard a lot mixed opinions on, but I hear it's generally well liked. It's the sequel series that's hated. Mostly because it's like it's a sequel series where it's like new characters, but then halfway through the show they toss them aside and bring back the characters from the first show.
Yeah. Didn't that end with that whole series, Gundam Seed, end with a movie where they fought liquid metal aliens?
That's Gundam 00.
Okay.
Yeah, 00 was like the next major franchise after Seed.
Okay.
What's really funny about this, my older brother hates anime, but he loves Gundam Seed.
Okay. I noticed like Gundam Seed was like the Gundam series for like a large portion of anime fans in the early 2000s.
Here's the thing for me. I understand why some people like it. On the other hand, I couldn't stand Seed or Seed Destiny because, with the exception of a very few characters, most of the cast were unlikable. Kira Yamato is a whiny little bitch. He's pretty much Shinji, except if you were an adult.
Oh.
And the fact that the rest of the characters are unlikable, save for these few, just kind of make it really hard to get into it, because you have Frey, who hates coordinators and is just a vindictive see you next Tuesday. Kigali has potential, but she doesn't get to show it until, like, the near end of the fucking series when she finally gets her own Gundam, which made me salty because she's one of the few that actually have personality, aside from Lacus, who's adorable as shit and happy-go-lucky and not a whiny little emo bitch like most of the rest of the cast. Atherin, I didn't mind too much, but at the same time, he was a little bit too broody for my tastes. And a lot of the members on the bridge didn't really contribute much, except the occasional fan service when there was space turbulence. Boobies bouncing all over the place. The Gundams, don't get me wrong, the Gundams were designed nicely. Some of the space battles in the Gundams and even with the spaceships were pretty well done, but I just couldn't like it. The story just felt It felt like it was trying to be a rehash of Mobile Suit Gundam, the original, except the original was actually good, and the original actually had some likable characters. Some you wanted to cry for that gave their lives, and some that were well done, and you only had a couple of useless characters, where you had useful characters like Amuro Ray and Sayla once she's given the reins to the gun tank, in comparison and you have Char Ansible, who's kind of this sympathetic villain, where you only have like one or two useless characters like Frau Bo. But that's because she's sadly stuck in the trope of kids in the way.
Right, along with those three other orphans. She was just there to take care of the other three useless characters, which were the orphans.
Yeah, which kind of sucked. I wanted to see, oh, hey, maybe she'll pilot something. Nope, she gets stuck being the glorified babysitter.
Yeah, at least with Sayla, when she's not piloting a mobile suit, she's like in the command center, like doing some like coordinating plans or attacks or stuff, along with what was her name of the other female character that eventually married Bright Noah?
Shit, I can't remember. It's been so long.
Right, but she was the only other character who didn't have like white colored eyes. For whatever reason.
I'm looking at images of Gundam Seed, and yeah, is it just me or all the human characters look the same?
That's one of my main issues as someone who has never seen Seed, nor do I I've been avoiding watching Seed because art-wise, it doesn't appeal to me in the slightest outside of the mech designs. But even then, the mech designs all kind of start to blend together after a while. But yeah, the main character, all the human characters, they look, it's like this like early 2000s, like early digital animation style of anime, where it seemed like all the characters had very interchangeable character designs, just with slightly different hair or different colored eyes and hair.
Yeah, I just sent an image to prove this fact. If you guys want to see in the little chat there, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, for the longest time, I thought the black-haired kid was like the bluish-haired guy.
That's not true. They have different hairstyles, different shades of skin color, and they're not exactly the same.
Yeah, it's just picking the same character in Street Fighter.
Plus, I just kind of realized the design for Atherin, it kind of looks like that they kind of copy-pasted him into the anime Fafnir.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, and plus there's something about like early 2000s anime or just early 2000s animation where people were starting to use digital animation but didn't quite know how to use it. So a lot of like the coloring and shading feels very flat. I'm not sure if you ever got that vibe, Win.
It kind of did with some. Others it worked because you had characters that were likable and you had fairly fluid animation in other scenes, and really well-paced writing. Like, one of the series I was into that was an earlier Funimation dub was Kitty Grade, which was really, really well done in my opinion, and could fall into that early 2000s animation category. Where Gundam Seed, it could have had potential, but again, writing felt lackluster, and at least in my opinion, I actually have friends who do like Seed, so I'm really not trying to narc on them.
Right.
And most of the characters, save for maybe 4, were really unlikable to me. I'd have to say one of the only characters aside from seeing Kigali's potential when she finally got to pilot Strike Rouge, I'd have to say the only other characters I could think of that I liked were Athrun, let's see, maybe to an extent the captain, and Lacus Klein, but that's because I always kind of gravitate towards the more happy-go-lucky characters in a sea of emo.
Oh, yeah. That was a big thing back then. Emo characters with tons of problems and the whole, you can't understand me, no one understands me.
Plus Lacus is just too damn adorable to hate. She was a cinnamon roll.
Andres, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, that was a weird plot twist where like half the population in Gundam Seed are actually cinnamon rolls piloting human-sized
That
suits.
explains why they all look alike.
Yeah.
Oh god, what
They're
have I
all
done?
equally sweet.
Right. Also, Lacus Klein, another example of the wonderful naming rhythms in Gundam.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyways,
That
thank
beats
you
what I
very
call my main character, Virgil Knight.
But anyways, thank you very much for your extended thoughts, Win. I have been curious about Seed for the longest time. Let's see. Final question from Kevin. What are some of your favorite conspiracy theories?
Mine's the classic Lizard Man.
Mine's
You
probably
can't beat
the classic Alex Jones one, and you all know which one I'm talking about.
Does it involve chemicals in the water?
Yes, it does involve chemicals in the water.
Oh man, there's so. I really don't believe most of these conspiracy theories, but they are interesting as modern day mythology, whether they're true or not. But I do like the idea that the reason we haven't returned to the moon is because the moon is literally a space station for tons of different aliens, and we weren't exactly welcome there on the last couple of Apollo missions. So
I never heard of that one.
I have not heard that. That's my new favorite, though.
Yeah.
I agree with Brayton on that one.
Yeah. No, apparently there's gigantic tower-like structures on the moon. During the first space walk, they had to lose the original footage because there was a lot of local alien travelers that were coming in checking out. Oh, what are these Earth monkeys doing on our moon? So, but no, the idea that the moon and several other moons throughout the solar system are way stations for a lot of traveling aliens. And one of the reasons we never gone back is that we're not really welcome there, or every time we do get there, it just brings up too much attention from the other aliens, if you will. So that's like my favorite right there. And I say this because, as Brayton would mention, I am the first human comedian on the moon.
What was
Never mind.
I think another one of my favorite conspiracies was always like the human ape hybrid, like Russian soldiers conspiracy.
Oh, that's not a conspiracy. That was fact. The
Right.
Russians did. Yeah,
Well,
they
never
actually did try.
made it. It was just like an idea proposed in reality, but never got past the proposal stage. But people actually
I
believe
think
that
I think Raph and Enshohma disproves that thought right there, Andres. I think
I am, for the last time, Brayton, I am a Scandinavian troll creature that moved to America and is pretending to be a half Cherokee, half Hispanic man, okay? So get it right.
All right, so is Scandinavia real?
Yes, I hate David the Gnome. He's my mortal enemy. Urgh.
Anyone else?
David the Gnome.
Really obscure show, okay? Beyond your age, Brayton.
All right.
Any other favorite conspiracies? Nope.
But this
David
isn't really a
Winona.
conspiracy, but I wanted to bring this up. I found out there was a cruise ship for conspiracy theorists, and I had to think like a conspiracy theorist, and what went through my mind was, how is this not a trap?
Okay, conspiracy theorists, onto the ship to the Bermuda Triangle. Bum, bum, bum.
They're not coming back, you know that, right?
That's the
It's
plan.
their way to silence us all. It's a conspiracy within a conspiracy.
I said, that's just bad conspiracy theorists not thinking that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Amanda asks, thoughts on the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
I love it. You can't beat Tim Curry dressed in drag.
Rocky.
Then he became the main villain from Superhuman Samurai, and it just went on from there.
Malcolm.
Smashing.
Oh dear lord.
Right. Oh man, I like
That's the
Rocky.
thing.
Stolen
I brought it
credit
up.
cards. What was that?
Brayton, were you gonna say something?
I was waiting for you.
Oh, I was gonna say I do like Rocky Horror Picture Show, but I'm more of a fan of the Paradise Man myself.
Well, see, with me, I brought it up to Raph, but the Rocky Horror Picture Show is a thing where I like the music so much more than I like the movie. Like, I'll listen to the music on its own any time of day. I'll play There's a Light Over at the Frankenstein Place on loop throughout 24/7. But I'm not a huge fan of the movie or the play, though. I don't know, it's weird. But great soundtrack.
I wonder if the reason why it's so popular is because people think it's a genuinely good movie, or is it just one of those it's bad but it's a good kind of bad, enjoyable kind of bad?
I would have to disagree because I've seen the movie enough times to say that it's like the 1960s Batman movie. It's high camp, but done very
it's
well.
fully intentional.
Yeah.
campy.
If we're talking about horror-based musicals that I enjoy watching as a movie, I'd say Little Shop of Horrors on that one.
Ooh, nice.
I've heard good things about Repo the Genetic Opera being a good horror.
Oh, that was a really good one.
Yeah.
And Devil's Carnival, which was something I actually recommended to Matt Denny a while back.
Yeah, wasn't Devil's Carnival a unofficial sequel to Repo, or at least the same crew?
It was the same crew, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that was also something that didn't really have a story. You watched it because of the music, and it just looked fun.
right.
Yeah.
Let's see. One is here's a what do you call it? A Red Letter Media related question. Thoughts on Rainbow the Clown from Red Letter Media? Is that from their wheel? Is that their wheel from their Wheel of the Worst series?
I'd have to say so. I don't remember.
I remember a clown video they watched where it was
Yeah.
a clown trying to make people feel better or something. It was a weird old woman clown.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Was that it?
I'm thinking
Now,
that might be it.
You sure we're not mistaking this clown for Rich Evans?
He is the clown.
Right.
And you know your clowns, Raph, being a
Yes.
professional party clown yourself.
I'm everything to you everywhere, aren't I?
I'm
You
also
are.
a party
You
clown,
are
but
everything.
that just ruins parties.
Yeah, it's like Brayton once accused me of being the real reason JFK got shot.
Are
Who
you?
said that?
No, I'm not that old.
That's okay. Scratch the whole moon thing. That's my new favorite conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I think I found a gift of the creepy Rainbow the Clown, sharing it with you guys.
Uh,
I love how it's zooming in on this puppet with the look of horror on its face.
oh my god. Oh, yeah, that's definitely the best. The Wheel of the Worst. Yeah, it's so sad that even the benevolent clowns look terrifying.
The puppet's making that face, by the way, because where the clown's hand is.
Oh.
I
Oh,
think this was Joaquin Phoenix's first makeup test as the new Joker.
guys, I was in a movie where I made love to a cell phone. Even I gotta admit this is creepy. He's Joaquin Phoenix, don't you know?
Don't you know?
Yeah.
Let's see. And the last question from Graphenic Rex says, thoughts on, I've heard the name of this anime, Martian Successor Nadesico.
Oh.
Martian Successor
I've never heard that.
Nadesico. I've only seen it in Super Robot Wars, but I've never watched Martian Successor Nadisco Snacks.
Raph, isn't that your Tinder username, Raph?
Don't laugh.
Damn it! Now I want Oreos.
Right. Oh god, yeah. Oreos.
Now I want Oreos.
I've only seen like the first episode of this series, and like a lot of like 90s anime. I can't remember the plot at all. But I do know a little bit about the history. When the television series aired, it was actually very successful in Japan, but apparently its spin-off movie after the first 24 episodes ended was so ill-received that the possibility of it becoming a full-blown franchise just died right there, and it went from basically a one-hit wonder of Japanese mecha anime. But I don't remember, like, I hate to say it, I like anime, but a lot of them, especially from the 90s, are so vague in their plot and world building. I don't remember if they're fighting aliens or other humans and robots, or I do remember there were robots that they lead heroes piloted, but nothing else. It's like trying to explain like the plot to like Code Geass, and it's like after explaining like, oh, it's an altered dimension where there's political skullduggery and there's revenge plot and there's robots in it.
All I really want to know is, was the spin-off title shorter than the main title?
No. It's Japan.
It never is.
Somehow it got longer.
Right. Giant monster, all-out attack, revenge of the counterattack of King Kong, escape.
You got it wrong. Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, giant monster, all-out attack, featuring Baragon.
Yeah, I know. I was making fun of it. I knew I got it wrong.
Or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
I love that scene where Rodan is refueling in the air. So.
And Primal says, from what I heard, it's like a parody of Macross. Is it right?
Yeah, I did. No, absolutely not. If it was like the most subtle Macross parody I've ever seen.
Okay.
So because they played it straight, and again, I don't remember who the villains were. I just remembered people in trouble. They piloted robots. That's it. Macross is a better. Yeah,
is this
Macross
podcast a parody of Macross?
Yeah.
Well, that depends. Who is the idol girl? Who is the strong, independent captain woman? And who is the brash and hot-blooded teenage pilot? And who's
Brayton, and Brayton.
I am partners in Trotty, so that counts.
And in that case, who's going to be the dashing older brother figure who's going to get killed later on?
Me.
Let's see. Next, what do you think is the most over-recommended horror franchise? Over-recommended?
Friday the 13th is my answer because like I like Jason as a character. I hate to say it though, the vast majority of his movies is the exact same thing over and over again. It's like say what you will about Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers, at least they try to play things up a bit, and that's saying a lot considering that Michael Myers is for the most part a regular human being, just one who happens to be pure evil. I've never seen anything in his eyes. Donald Pleasance, everybody.
Hey.
Yeah.
Mine would be Insidious.
Insidious. Okay.
Because then all the spin-off movies it has.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Annabelle's supposed to be one of them.
Yeah, they made 2 Annabelles, didn't they?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh my goodness. Guys, my idea for a horror movie about the car salesman who also has tons of cell phones. We gotta make it into a franchise. It'll work out.
Well, they'll make a horror movie, a horror movie based on one of the cars in his car lot.
Exactly, the one that worked. But why did it work? Because the car was pure evil.
Be careful saying about your ideas here, because I feel like the government just steals our ideas and gives them to Hollywood. This happened to me.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the movie Smallfoot?
Oh my goodness. Brayton
Yes.
came up. Yeah, Brayton came up with this great idea for a character called Batman, and then it was just taken away. He was Bill Fingered.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
see.
sorry.
Me and my father keep on making this joke that clearly Bigfoot's hunting us and just can't find us, and Hollywood took it from us, and to no success whatsoever.
Hollywood took my idea for the cable guy. That was certainly an idea I had.
That's based on our first meeting,
I
right?
ever want to take credit for it. Yeah, pretty much. That's how we
Okay.
met. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Who was who?
Amanda says, make a spin-off of one of the cell phones.
Right. It'll be the Hello Kitty cell phone that is secretly cursed. Woo!
Let's see. Conga says, question, can you help me? You have introduced my brother to anime. Can you stop him?
Conga, put me down, you
Help! Help!
Andres, there's reports of a gorilla growing to outlandish proportions downtown.
In the comment section. See, I
Right.
thought Conga's comment would have been, "Oh," but apparently not.
Well, hey, since we have Conga in the comment section, let's ask him questions. How's Reptilicus in person? You met him in a comic book, don't you know?
Non-channel.
Oh, okay.
Why do you have to turn into a passive-aggressive Midwestern lady at the end of every one of your little jokes there, with the whole "don't you know" stuff?
Well, I'm also part Southerner woman, so I'm part Navajo. I'm part troll. I don't know anymore.
I'm sorry. Anyway, what did Conga say?
What is it? Where is it? Okay. Can you help me? You have introduced my brother to anime. Can you stop him?
Oh,
Never.
Why?
You're Conga. Just strangle him to death. You're a very stealthy gorilla. Come on, man.
He bad at parties, says Conga.
Is he upset that Mystery Science Theater hasn't made fun of him yet?
That is amazing. That is a depressing movie.
Who would make fun of Conga? Conga is a cinematic masterpiece.
And
Highly
It's like the Leech Woman, but in color and with guys in it.
Ew.
I still want Hollywood to steal my idea for Conga versus Gorgo, but that's not happening anytime soon.
You do know that Conga, Gorgo, and Reptilicus is in a shared universe in the Charlton comic books that were.
I know,
Okay.
in a comic book from 80 million years ago that nobody cares about. I know. I'm talking about. I need it on screen.
And let's see. S452 says, could the car have the voice of a drunk Orson Welles?
Yes.
Always.
The French!
I'll run over the French like Hollywood ran over me.
Right. This is the magnificent Ambersons, my
They
greatest
destroyed Ambersons, and now I'll destroy them. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Orson Welles is Death Car.
Where's bud?
Oh,
Orson
goodness.
Welles and Road Rage.
Right.
Road,
Orson Welles
That's-
is the very large
Christine.
Christine.
Yeah.
Road bud.
Road.
What
Rosebud, I love that.
makes after he hits someone?
Let's
Oh,
see.
Maximum Overdrive, but instead of the Green Goblin, it's a giant plastic face of Orson Welles. With a constantly smoking cigar. So.
Instead of two smokestacks, all the smoke will just come out of that cigar.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. One of the last questions I think we'll answer for tonight is, question, what is your favorite 2010s era kaiju movie? For me, it would be Pacific Rim.
Yeah, I had to go with Pacific Rim too.
Yeah. It's a four-way tie: Pacific Rim, Kong Skull Island, Gamera the Brave, and Ultraman Zero: The Revenge of Belial.
I'm going with the Meg.
Brayton.
Well, it's the Meg, Rav.
Right.
It's bigger jaws.
Shut up about Meg.
Mine is which way they walk.
Was that? Oh yeah, I guess it is of the 2010s. Yeah, that's right. I guess that
Right,
just seems
right.
so much longer ago.
Yeah.
Andres, what about Pacific Rim Up Yours? You love that movie, right? Yeah. Mr.
Hi, Mr. Plinkett, my friend.
Pacific Rim Up Yours is the worst movie since my son. No, not that son, my other son. No, not that son either, my other son.
He gets around, Mr. Plinkett, doesn't he?
Despite not having a working penis anymore ever since that one Super Bowl, but I would probably not want to talk about it.
Mm.
But you see, a long time ago, there was my other son, Stephen S. DeKnight, worked on a couple of TV shows. But then somebody thought he was smart enough to work on a whole movie. He worked on Del Toro's Pacific Rim, who was my best friend. He fucked up my friend's movie series. One time, I asked him if he could fix my neighbor's lawn. Then he decided he was going to add fertilizer so he can have too much lawn. He was trying to make it better. I told him he was a fucking idiot.
Who's gonna stop him?
If all of you guys get to have characters, I get to have one as well.
Okay.
That's how it works. You're the host.
Crookedlore, Boo, Jack Hoxson, Mr. Plinkett, and Brayton. The five-way battle.
Let's see. So, Brumakian Productions said, you missed my question again. What was your question, Brumakian Productions? We'll probably answer that, and we'll finish it there. Let's see. So, yeah, at this point, it is about... What time is it on your guys' end? So, I have a feeling that the Halloween season should be over by now.
Yes, all the little kids are dying in the streets with masks on. There's bugs coming out of their heads. It's wonderful. It's a season of witch, my friends.
Currently, it is 11:16 Central Standard Time.
Okay.
It's 9:16 here.
Yeah, it's 9:16 where I'm at as well.
Okay. So it's
12:16.
12:16. Okay, so for Crooked and Brayton, it's definitely over, and I guess looks like it should be wrapping up on Win and Enshohma's end.
Speak for yourself. I'm getting a bag of brandy and just drinking my sorrows away.
When you're the Kraken man, Halloween's never over. Then my outfits wouldn't make sense.
Isn't that the wonderful thing about being science fiction monster movie fans? Halloween is never once a year.
That is true, my friend.
I can't make it once a year. My character designs depend on Halloween.
And that is the fatal flaw in your character designs. They can't work year-round. Yeah, let's see. So it looks like Burmakian isn't re-uploading his question, but to answer Primal's question, what's it like teaching in Japan? It is very fun when you have a lot of students who are willing to learn. Not so much when you're dealing with students who don't want to be there or don't have the passion to actually learn outside of practice outside of class. So anyway, it's kind of like being a real teacher in a way. It all depends on the student.
But Andres, how can you teach that doesn't exist?
I don't know. I truly don't know. But anyways, it looks like we are going to wrap things up here for the 5th annual Halloween livestream. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. And thank you, a very big thank you to my special group of friends here who has joined me on this Hallows Eve. And,
who are they?
That is my animating friend, the Crooked One, Crookedlore himself.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, actually.
Yes, indeed. For the first time on a live stream, not the first time on the channel, but the first time for this sort of venture. For next up, we have our great artist, Mr. Enshohma, who has once again, I like to remind everybody, provided the artwork for this and last year's Halloween title cards.
Thank you very much. This one was a big challenge for me, and I am not kidding. I have literally been up for almost 32 hours finishing this thing up, but it was worth it. This made my day. Thank you, everybody, all you guys, even those and even you people in the chat, especially Conga. I never thought I'd meet a celebrity.
Next up is, of course, Brayton Connor, my co-pilot for when it comes to all the rest of the live streams that happen to take place on my channel, as well as the man behind a good portion of my edited videos.
And
Thank
my
you.
nemesis.
And thank you, and once again, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Until we meet again.
And that was Christmas.
Oh, sorry, Memorial Day. What day is it? What holiday are we celebrating here?
Groundhog's Day.
Dia de los Muertos.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, happy that.
And last but certainly not least, a newcomer to the channel, but someone who I have had many a conversation with elsewhere on the internet. Give it up for the lovely Win the Rogue.
Thank you. It was awesome to come onto your live stream. It was quite a treat.
And I would say the real treat has been, like I mentioned before, being able to interact with all of you guys, especially at the same time on this wonderful holiday of ours. And thank you very much, every single one of you, ladies, young, fine ladies and gentlemen, for supporting us, for watching us, for commenting, for participating. Hope you all enjoyed this Hallows Eve. Hopefully everyone had a wonderful holiday, and I look forward to doing this all again next year for the 6th annual Halloween livestream. God willing, we'll still be around, and the channel will still be going strong. So thank you very much, everybody, and of course, the next time you will see us in a live stream format will be the end of next year, or the end of next month, for the next installment of Brayton and I's ongoing monthly live action series.
Live action?
Not
Oh no!
live action. I mean, live
Cell
stream.
phone and used car horror lots.
Ongoing monthly live stream series, Audio Synchronicity, where we'll be answering the rest of the questions left on the last episode. Or if you have any questions you'd like to be...
Opening.
What's that?
Now I'll be writing the opening for each episode.
Absolutely. And if you have any questions you would like us to answer for the next episode of Audio Synchronicity, you can leave them down in the comments below. So anything any of you would like to pimp out or advertise before we wrap things up?
Yeah, I might as well go.
Yeah.
Go, Enshohma.
Okay.
Brayton, whatever talked.
Yes, we are the same creature. We are the thing with two heads.
No.
Definitely come and visit my channel. I got some videos, including the recent Waffle Man radio play that I did with both Brayton and Win here, inspired by you wonderful audience members from Audio Secrecy. I'm saying that word wrong. And I'm not gonna say it, Brayton, but thank you for saying.
Right.
Hooba Jabba. And also check out. Thank you. And also check out my DeviantArt page, where you'll see not only the title card, but several of these monster images, as well as the Spidertron, will be coming up pretty soon, and other artworks and wacky characters. Because I am a strange individual who's been up for 35 hours. Oh my god, I'm gonna go to bed so hard after this.
Right? Anyone else?
Yep. Now I was waiting for someone else to talk.
All right. Do it.
You can check me out on Crookedlore Productions here on YouTube. Recently, I uploaded my own Halloween special that I forced myself to get done this month.
Nice.
So everyone should be happy about that. You can also check out mine and Andres' crossover on his channel.
Yes, which is titled Kaiju Noir: The Crooked Saga, full crossover, detailing the shenanigans that he and I get into throughout the last 3 scripted reviews that I put out, that being Rebirth of Mothra 2, Rebirth of Mothra 3, and my latest review, Godzilla 1998.
Wonderful. Okay, well, I'm working on a few big things involving some of the people here, which I don't really want to get into until we're further along with it. But I will say that it involves puppets, turtles, and spaceships. Yeah, we're making a fan film for Matlock. It's gonna be great.
I get to play Iron.
Really? I thought we were doing Perry Mason.
Oh,
that's
damn it! See,
No, we're doing Ironside, Raymond Burr's lesser-known action series where he's a guy in a wheelchair. I get to play Ironside.
this is fantastic. And Andrew thinks we're doing Murder, She Wrote. This is not going to end up well. We need to get our story straight.
Andrews as Angela Lansbury. Now that's good casting right there.
It is. And Andrewla Lansbury. But no, yes, big things coming soon. So I'll talk more about that on Audio Synchronicity, I think.
Excellent. And finally, anything you'd like to advertise, Win?
Sure. I don't really have much. I don't really have anything on my YouTube channel. I might put some content up there down the road involving voice work, but if any content creators are listening, if you ever need a voice actress, you can always contact Andres, who can get my attention about it. That's how I was able to do Waffle Man. And if anything, I would say, if you can, check out Sunday Night Live every Sunday. We do it about 1 o'clock in the afternoon my time, later in the evening UK time. I'm not fully aware of the time differences there, so I can't give you that estimate ballpark, but Sunday Night Live's a treat to listen to, so I would highly recommend that you go listen. And just to reiterate, if you ever need voice work, I'm your girl.
Absolutely. She's got she's definitely got a wide range when it comes to her vocal performances, and she is most definitely one of the most talented people I've come across in the field of voice work.
As me and Brayton say every day, thank God we found an actual female voice actress for Boo. Because yeah, me and Brayton's attempts at a small alien girl child did not work out at all.
Yeah, I was doing Burt Ward, you were doing Miss Piggy, and neither of them were suitable.
All right, so to everybody out there who is probably putting away what leftover trick-or-treating candy you have, or enjoying what trick-or-treating candy you have already gone out there, for those who have already celebrated this year's Halloween, thank you very much for sticking with us for another year, and we'll certainly see you in a year's time. So I have been Andres Perez, aka Kaiju Noir.
I have been Crookedlore Productions.
I am the one and only Enshohma.
I have been Win the Rogue, aspiring voice actress.
I am Brayton Connor. Good night, God bless, good haunting, and there's a monster in your closet, and his name is Brayton Connor.
Happy Halloween to all, and to all a good fright.